What is up, everybody? This is Hector Flores, host of the Insert Name FC podcast, a member of the Belly Up Sports Media Network. You can find us on all things podcasting, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast fix from. And, yeah. So, first episode of 2026. And I'm pissed off. I am very much pissed off. If you guys don't know, we record on Sundays. Probably know about a pretty big game on Sunday. As a matter of fact, wearing a shirt right now. Yeah. Look, I say a lot of things about the Spanish Super Cup. How it's a competition that I don't necessarily rate highly, which that still stays. But obviously, when it is Real Madrid versus Barcelona, that's always going to be the conversation, and that doesn't matter whether it's a friendly or a La Liga match, Champions League, even the Spanish Super Cup of all places. I don't like losing to Barcelona. I just don't. As a matter of fact, I also don't like not only losing to Barcelona, but also losing when we're clearly not the better team. Barcelona had the better strategy, had the better game plan. They had the majority of possession of the game, which I feel like that's what Xabi Alonso I guess wanted them to do. And that's all fine and dandy if there's a method to the madness, and reality was there was no real method to the madness, because once again Real Madrid were just not clinical at their opportunities. There was before Vinny finally scored his goal, and before that crazy Gonzalo goal, which was just that kid's just gonna find a way to score goals, which is impressive. But Rodrigo, I believe, had a shot but didn't put enough power on it. So that was, and that's kind of the theme. They just didn't put enough power in it. The Rodrigo goal, what would have been a goal, didn't put any power in it. Also, it was kind of awkward. So I'm not gonna give it too much on the whole power part, but just that. Gonzalo had a clear shot. He put no power in it, and that goal didn't happen. Obviously, eventually did get a goal. And then in the final minutes to kind of force a draw, Carreras had a chance to get the equalizer, and surprise, surprise, no fucking power. Sorry for cussing, but yeah, it's those kind of games those kind of matches where it just puts a bad taste in your mouth. I will say this is going to be one of the few times that I do question a little bit of Xabi Alonso, just because of the fact that Vinny was clearly the best player for us that day. He was a problem for Kuende. He kept being a problem for that back line throughout the game. And you sub him out. And I guess it's because him and Mbappe I guess it just doesn't work when they're both on the field. But Mbappe, that was just, I don't know. I don't necessarily think it was necessary to bring him in, especially because he really didn't do much reality. In reality, didn't do much. I know he had that one possession where he looked like he was doing something there. But obviously nothing came from it. But also Asensio's header had in the final minutes of stoppage time, Real Madrid had two opportunities to get the equalizer. The Carreras shot that, if you put a little bit more power in it, probably would have been a goal. And then the Asensio, which I can't say too much about the header. There's not really. I don't think it was a power thing. Maybe just better position. But that was also another one just coming up short in the opportunities. Barcelona, they were goals waiting to happen. Rafinha was a problem. Lamine Yamal, when he had his opportunities, Lewandowski having his opportunities. Guys like Fermin Lopez and Pedri, they were also being very much a problem. But all in all, from outsiders, if you had no connection to any of these teams, you sat there and watched a really good game. It was a pretty good game. There was a lot of drama, a lot of physicality. There was goals. So all in all, a really good game. But obviously, when you have a horse in the race, and your horse is the one that comes short, it's rough. Do I think that this is gonna at all impact whether or not Xabi Alonso is gonna keep his job or not? No, I think the rumors are full of crap. I've never really believed in the rumors. The rumors are just annoying. That's the only thing that I really say about it. The rumors are annoying. I don't necessarily think that Xabi Alonso is in jeopardy of his job. He was in the Spanish Super Cup final, which once again is not a competition that I necessarily value as a make it or break it. At least those kind of stakes for a guy. I mean, still had a good performance against Atletico Madrid. Still had a good game nonetheless. Things came. It went to minute details in order to really what took away the game. Even with letting Barcelona play, like they were able to still wreak havoc on them. Lamine Yamal definitely had his share of work to deal with when he had Carreras and Rodrigo to deal with. But aside from that, I don't necessarily think that like Xabi Alonso's getting sacked. And if he does get sacked, what the fuck are we doing? Sorry for cussing Kelsey. Like, seriously, what are we doing here? But anyways, I hope everyone had a great Christmas and New Year's. Hope everyone is alive and well, and I hope that we are going into 2026 with the utmost optimism. But we're back. This episode we're gonna talk about, funny enough, New Year's resolutions football edition. We're going to talk about Enzo Maresca getting sacked. There's also going to be an update at some point because when we recorded it, we actually recorded it the week before. So this was like more recently when Enzo Maresca was sacked. They did announce their new manager, so I'll touch up on that part. Also, there was a few more sackings that happened, so I'll also mention that in the update. Sergio Ramos, he's looking to buy Sevilla, so that's going to be something that we talk about as well. First matches of Liga MX has already begun. Actually, as a matter of fact, by the time this episode drops, I believe there'll be 2 matches already been played in Liga MX. So, or is that the case? Let me see. Let me. I'm going off of what I was told, and not so much of doing research, which I should start being a little bit better at. So there'll be by the time this episode drops, the Liga MX has already been 2 games in, so there's that. But really interesting guests. We have Fade and Honda of Golz TV's new show, Banters and Balonazos. So we'll talk to them, talk about what the show's going to be about, and then we talk about Liga MX, and also because both Fade and Honda are fans of El Tri Mexico. This was we got a little bit of their thoughts of the Mexican national team as they go into the final months of preparation for the 2026 World Cup. So that was a really good conversation. Players of the week, we'll announce that. We'll give you guys some games to watch. Big match happening this weekend. It is the final of AFCON. So I genuinely cannot wait. I have been fully invested in African Cup of Nations. It's been a lot of fun. Always great. Love the fans. Really, really do love the fans of AFCON. But yeah, really good show. Obviously, give you guys some games to look forward to this weekend. And basically, that's it. So, also, I think there's been some fun bantering. Well, some off-topic conversation that me and Edward had in between as well. But with all that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a break and go right into headlines. Well, not the headlines just yet. We'll go into our New Year's resolutions footy edition with Edward Robles. So, get ready for that. Let me tell you guys about Belly Up Sports. Belly Up Sports is the internet sports bar. Go ahead and check out their website, www.bellyupsports.com, to read some great articles from great writers all across the country, from hockey, baseball, golf, soccer, you name it. Belly Up Sports is the premier, not your average website. All right, guys, we're back in business. We got Edward here. Obviously, you can tell by the cartoon. But yeah, Edward.
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year. I hope everyone got some great gifts for Christmas. I hope you guys had a very fun and safe New Year. I almost got blasted by a sparkler. Thank you, Felix.
Felix
did not realize maybe not pointing the sparkler at my face would have been not wise. But yeah, so that happened. But anyways, yeah, and I hope you guys all have a great 2026, so this month is going to be pretty busy for me, as I have best man duties for a wedding, so that's going to be fun, and great, a lot of fun, especially if the bride and groom is listening to this, so yeah, but Edward, obviously, I'm hoping that you had a good holiday break,
Oh yeah, I ended up spending the Christmas week with the boys because it was my Christmas, so I took off a few days extra so I could be with them. Got them stuff that they wanted, and yeah, they became big on collecting Pokemon cards. So I decided to start them with their own little binders, one each of their own, and then they got Pokemon cards. I think I told you, Iked actually does have the first, or I think it's the second edition Charizard, the one that we had when we were kids. I checked the
Nice,
freaking retail on that thing; it's like $105.
nice.
So, so I put it up in
You
my personal
contemplated
binder.
contemplating.
No, like no. Nah. I told him I was like, hey, I'm gonna put yours on a separate side of the binder. I was like, because I was like, we're gonna put him on the penny sleeve, and then we're gonna put him on the top loaders, and then that way, the longer it stays, because it's the charger, the holographic charger that has the two on the side.
Hmm.
So I know it's not the first edition, but
So
yeah, he's happy with everything, and yeah, he's and Mateo, he just wants everything Pikachu. So if anybody wants
uh,
to give away Pikachu cards to my kids, I would greatly appreciate that.
yeah, the
Or
theme.
if y'all selling them for $3, $4, I'll buy it.
Yeah, the theme for my Christmas was hydration and some socks and running shoes. So yeah,
Ooh.
so nah, great, great gifts, some great gifts, honestly.
Oh, when you said hydration, I was like, did somebody give you a gallon of water?
No, so well, I guess I already will say it. So the people I played Dungeons and Dragons with, they gave me a Stanley Cup, the big one with the straw. And
Yeah.
then what's funny enough was I was like looking to find if there's somebody in Houston that like does like custom Stanley Cup paint jobs or something like that. And I wasn't sure what exactly I wanted to get. I was like maybe Astros theme, maybe like Dynamo or Real Madrid, or maybe just go like Punisher theme on the Stanley Cup. And then Lord and behold, I go to Edward's house and the boys give me not a Stanley Cup, but actually bigger than the Stanley Cup. So props to you, Edward. And it was customized already with the Astros stuff. So I was like, oh, okay, I guess I don't have to do this anymore. So appreciate on that one. So I got so I
You got
got
a real Stanley Cup, and then you got a customized cup with the straw.
yeah. So that was pretty cool. I was like, all right, I guess I don't have to do that anymore. And then and then obviously we did our gift exchange, and I got a whole mess. Okay, so if you guys don't know, I do a Secret Santa with my family, and we do this. We use this website called Elfster, so it like helps like randomly. So like it'll. So for instance, if me, Edward, and Spencer did like a Secret Santa, it would email Edward who his Secret Santa is, and along with that, the person is like their wish list of things that they want for Christmas. So like to help them get an idea of what they should get them, and me jokingly just started like clicking like a lot of socks as a joke, and so
Oh
and so
man.
and so I got a whole mess of socks, and I did get some running shoes, so because I very much needed some new running shoes, so because I am still for people that don't know, I'm still going to the gym. I've been uh going pretty consistently, I would say. Um, so yeah, so there's that. So yeah, I did
Five
need,
five times a week, 5 times a week, right?
try to 4 to 5 times a week. That's the goal.
Oh, okay.
And it was funny because I finally got to do a physical. Since now I'm sure insured, and like at first the doctor's like, I should be worried about this, but I already know you're starting to exercise, so I think you'll be fine. And so that was probably the funniest conversation I ever have with a doctor. Is like, well, you already know what's wrong with you, so.
That's so fucked up.
Okay, she didn't say it like that, but along
I
my
mean, I mean, along the lines.
well, she's like, your diet isn't terrible. You are exercising now, so you're not at like she's like you're not at risk of diabetes. You're gonna lower your cholesterol at some point. So she was just kind of like, like she's like, you already know what you need to work on. So it was just one of those she like gave me the
It's one of those.
like I know you got this.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it's like. It's one of those. Well, I see you doing this, so you're okay. You're okay.
It
For
was
right now, you're
it
okay.
was a lot better than like my childhood doctor, which was like
Oh God.
accusing me of like eating burgers and pizza and like Oreos. Like I remember he said no more pizza and stuff, and I'm like I don't really eat that, and then he's just like, oh well, no more. You can't. You can only drink one soda. I was like, I only drink one soda a day, and then he's like, oh well, no more Oreo cookies. I was like, I don't even have that in the house. And so, he's like, well, no more ice cream. That's not even in the house. And he's like, so what do you eat? And I was like, I eat frijoles. And so,
Oh yeah. Your
so
mom and her bowl of frijoles. Yep, I remember.
it
It
was
was
just
like
funny because like I think he was trying to like get like a got you on me,
he
and
was
it just wasn't
he was
working.
trying to basically, yeah, he was just trying to be like, oh, I'm gonna catch this kid and I'm gonna catch him. I'm gonna catch him doing something bad, doing something wrong. And it's like, yeah, it's not that. It's like he just eats whatever his parents put on the table.
Yeah, it's a funny process. Anyways, but yeah, so my goal, my personal New Year's resolution is definitely to once again for everybody that doesn't remember, I'm trying to go down from a 2X all the way down to an L. To see it, I am starting to fit more into my XL shirts again, so that is a positive. Um, but yeah,
Not the Puma ones though.
actually Puma, yeah.
Oh, nice. The Arsenal Puma? No,
The
wait.
Arsenal Puma wasn't an authentic kit, so it actually isn't like snug. Um,
Okay. No,
I'm
because I remember Puma, dude. Even when I was at my smallest, and I would get a medium
Puma,
that was fit super tight.
Puma just doesn't know what an XL is. That's all. That's what I think. But
You think everybody that they know, they're like, who wears XL? They're like, we don't know anybody around here. Yeah, just make it like 1 inch bigger. That's it.
I
That's
will
all.
say
That's all they need.
so the pink AC Milan shirt because I do have the pink AC Milan shirt, which is a
Oh, nice.
Puma. I think that is authentic. I might try it on one of these days just to see like where I'm in line with that one, just to like get an idea. But because
Okay.
that one is an XL and I call BS on that one. So because I remember when I put it on, like it is like skin tight on me, and I was just like, this kills all my confidence.
You're like, this
Mind
kills
you,
my
this is
confidence.
before the whole exercising thing. So
Yeah, but then you're like, this kills my confidence, and it's like also a few of my brain cells because it's cutting off the circulation.
yeah, yeah, well, yeah. So
Because
my New Year's resolution is still going. Go from a double XL to a size large. So that is still in
no,
play.
no, and this boy's my best friend. He's my bro. But I myself have to say, I do see the difference in him going to the gym daily. Like I've seen, like the shirts that he used to wear, they were used to be a little bit tighter. Right now, they fit him a little bit looser. Not around the arms. He's still keeping the side of the shoulders and the arms. Still got that big upper body build, but he's actually slowly lowering the around the stomach area. So it is true. I've seen it myself. So props to him for that because he's doing really, really well.
Yeah, I could probably work a little bit more on the diet part, but that's a whole other debate.
Oh, dude, it's a whole another thing, dog. You can do it. I believe you can. It's just you gotta have the patience for it. I'm gonna be honest with
Oh
you.
no, trust me, I know. I'm fully aware. I have to listen to a 20-year-old every day complain about how he's not. First, I tell him all the time like because he's like he wants to bulk up, and I was like, well, eating just fruit isn't gonna do that. So
No, that's just sugar, dude. Fruit is just sugar.
yeah, so I was like, just because you're eating fruit doesn't mean you're being healthy. Like you have to
You
have
gotta bulk.
balance, which is funny. It's funny for a fat guy to tell that to somebody, but it was like I was like, all you do is eat fruit, and he's like, yeah, like he's like it's really healthy. I was like, yeah, but if you're trying to, because I was like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to be lean, or are you trying to like get mass? And he's like, mass. I was like, well, you're definitely not gonna get that if you're gonna keep eating that. I was like, you need to eat like a lot of calories, and you need to eat the right, like you need to put some protein in you. But anyways,
Shit. Yeah. Rice
that,
cake and peanut butter.
he doesn't like rice cakes. He has like an excuse for everything. It's hilarious. Very typical 20-year-old. Like
All
he
right.
has an excuse for everything. Trust me. So there you go. Anyways,
Lame.
but speaking of New Year's resolutions, Edward, do you have a New Year's resolution by the way? Just like a personal one?
Um, To be honest, to be closer, I'm gonna be honest, to be closer to God, because I feel like whenever I was very finding myself a little bit more spiritual and everything came in abundance. Everything was good. It's just, I fell off on my own, by
Hmm.
my own accord. I knew what I was doing, and yeah, that was my fault.
Hmm.
So, but all in all, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to get closer more to God spiritually. So everything else, will fall into place. I know that for a fact. I've experienced it. It's just, like I said, fell off my path and decided to just kind of, you know, go the wrong way. But little by little, it just takes time. It just takes time.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So little by little, but I'm sure you'll find that. But all right, we're gonna do we're sticking with the theme of New Year's resolutions, but this is gonna be footy edition. So uh, Edward supports a lot of teams. Obviously, I support my teams as well. But for 2026, what is we'll do one and one. So like we'll go from obviously three. Edward, if you want to go first, by all means. But if you want me to go first, I can do that as well. But we'll do our personal New Year's resolutions for our football clubs. Football clubs, or maybe there isn't a club there, but we'll talk about that. But so, Edward, you want me to go first, or you want to go first?
You should go first because remember, yeah.
Okay. So my first New Year's resolution, footy edition, it is 2026. We are going into a World Cup year this summer. We will have the 2026 FIFA World Cup here in the United States of America, and yeah, I want the U.S. to not suck at the World Cup. And it is really hard to get people to tone it down. I get it. We're in a favorable group. And yes, Mauricio Pochettino has seemed to have got these guys playing with the right mentality, which I do love seeing. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's not screw the pooch, especially in our own backyard. So I would love the U.S. to not suck. And my definition of not sucking is
Getting out of the group.
quarterfinals.
Okay, okay.
So I would love to, well, because it's a little bit harder now because now we have round 32. All right, make it to the round of 16. I'm going to say round of 16. I think it's going to get significantly harder as we get to the round of 16. So I will say win the round of 30, get out of the group, win the first knockout matchup, and then go and hopefully win that next one. But it is going to get significantly harder as we move on to into the group stage, into the knockout stages of the World Cup. So yeah, that is my first New Year's resolution, footy edition.
Okay, okay. And are we taking turns or are
Yeah,
we
we're gonna take
going?
turns.
Okay, okay. So my first resolution is precisely that as well. Like I want the US to make it out
Are you also
far
gonna
enough to where we
Are
can
you
be
gonna
like,
use not suck, or are you gonna use something else?
well, mine is for them to get out of the group. I mean, you're a little bit more stricter than I am when it comes, I guess. I'm a little bit more lenient. I'm like, get out of the group stages. They do have a high possibility of doing that as long as they do not suck.
Okay.
So that being said, like you said, Pochettino's got them actually pretty good, pretty balanced when they're actually balling, they're playing. Um, so I'm good with that. As long as they keep that mentality, they keep that playing style going, they should be good and all around, and even go further. And like you said, quarterfinals. Well, if anything, they should be able to go up there and
I
actually.
changed it around to 16, but no,
Okay.
because quarterfinals would
Well,
not
yeah.
be a third knockout game. So,
Hmm.
but yeah, so
Well, okay, okay. No, but okay. But yeah, so I'm in the same boat. I'm in the same boat with you. USA, come on. They got this. They got this. Come
all right, all right. My second New Year's resolution is that, and I'm so happy with the result that happened today. If you guys don't know, so episode drops on the 15th, but we're actually recording this on what is it, the third, um, third or fourth. It doesn't really matter. But obviously it's gonna be a week before we're actually gonna start editing to, yeah, it's the fourth. So as of right now, Real Madrid had an impressive win over Real Betis, a 5-1 victory where we didn't have Kylian Mbappe available, and Gonzalo Garcia took over as the 9, which also, if you guys don't know, Endrick is now loaned out to Olympique Lyon, which that was
Yeah.
all time image of him just sitting on the bench for that first game is hilarious. But basically, he got sent from one bench to another bench. Is a joke. Obviously, he needs to get adjusted to Lyon first. I don't think they're gonna start him right away. So I don't. Okay, calm down, guys. But yes, it was funny though. But Gonzalo Garcia gets his first real shot at the 9 spot, and I gotta say, Edward, I've been really high on this kid since the Club World Cup, and he looked great. Like, he scored a goal with his head, he scored a goal with his right foot, and then he scores it with a left foot flick for his hat trick. So yeah, what a not a debut, but obviously getting that start over, obviously in a scenario where your best player Kylian Mbappe is injured, and he goes in there and scores a hat trick over Real Betis, which is not an easy opponent. So I think yeah, really good start to him, and which leads to my New Year's resolution, which is I need Xabi Alonso to live up to my belief in him. That I've been happy. Everyone knows I've been wanting Xabi Alonso to take over this team. If there was anyone that was going to take over from Carlo Ancelotti, to me it was Xabi Alonso, and I am just over all the drama that came from this first half of this season. I just want things to start clicking so that way we can stop with these stupid rumors that Xabi Alonso is going to get fired. So I think, for my sanctity, I would love for Xabi Alonso to live up to full fruition for me. Well, yeah, I don't really know what to say right now. I'm really at loss for words right now. Xabi Alonso has been sacked. He is no longer going to be the manager of Real Madrid. Apparently, it's mutual. I don't really know. At this point, I don't give a shit. Sorry for cussing Kelsey. Yeah, no, I'm pissed. I am still a firm believer in Xabi Alonso. I never felt like the club really backed him. You went out of your way to bring him in. He left a really great situation for him in Bayer Leverkusen to come manage Real Madrid. He with the idea that he was going to have your support. He didn't have it. And essentially what you told, at least in my opinion, this is just me, essentially what you have told the rest of the football world is that the players have more control of the club. Who cares about the manager? You're going to have Arbeloa there. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't work. Rumor is it that he's going to just copy what Carlo Ancelotti's system was. Okay. Like, what do you want? Like, honestly, what does this club want? I'm just really pissed off. I am. This basically is going to interrupt my hopes for my New Year's resolution for Real Madrid, which was that they let Xabi get it done. They backed Xabi Alonso, and they didn't. So yeah, that's one resolution that's out of the table. But you know what? I really don't know. I don't know. Arbeloa, maybe it'll work. Maybe it doesn't work. I mean, he's going to use Ancelotti's system, which is basically the same thing that happened with Zinedine Zidane. It's kind of funny because this literally reminds me of 2015, 2016, which was when they bring in Rafa Benitez. It didn't work out, and then Zinedine Zidane took over. Only difference is that I didn't really like Rafa Benitez. I liked Xabi Alonso. I thought that what he was going to be able to do was going to be great. The only problem is that you just didn't back the man. You didn't give him players that would fit towards what he needed to do. And unfortunately, you had a bunch of crybabies in your locker room that just never wanted to buy in. That's really the whole thing. I keep saying that Vinny was Charlie Conway. No, you had a locker room full of Charlie Conways that just wanted to stick with the status quo, the way things were. And in reality, when the things were the way they were, which was last year, it didn't work out. So if Arbeloa can somehow find a way to make Vinny and Mbappe work, well, all right, I'll eat my words, and I'll gladly be wrong. But and that's funny because like the rumors right now is like Enzo Maresca or Jurgen Klopp are like the guys that Real Madrid are eyeing. Why would they want to come here? Why? Like Fiorentino Perez doesn't show me that he's willing to support whatever manager he brings in. Jurgen Klopp is not one of those guys. I would put in not in the same level as Xabi Alonso, but that's a guy that you have to be willing to meet what he wants. Not don't get it twisted. And I guess maybe the pedigree of Jurgen Klopp is going to be valued more than Xabi Alonso's pedigree because Xabi Alonso has only resume is from Leverkusen, and obviously Jurgen Klopp has a pretty good resume of his own. Maybe you respect that more. Enzo Maresca is probably on the same level, not necessarily the same level, but same kind of discussion when you talk about Xabi Alonso. So like, why is that locker room going to respect him more than Xabi Alonso? I don't see it. I think I will say relief for Xabi Alonso. I'm happy for him. He gets out of this situation because clearly no one believed in him. No, except for me. Except for very few people that did believe in Xabi Alonso. And I know that at the end of the day, it didn't work out. But the problem was, unfortunately, is just that no one bought in. Nobody bought in, and that was the problem. You had a bunch of prima donnas in that locker room that didn't want to buy into what Xabi Alonso was doing. There were some guys that did. Obviously, there was a small handful that did actually want to see this project work because they believed in Xabi Alonso. But then there was guys that didn't like the way things were. Was he not able to handle the Vinny situation? Yeah, but how many people can really handle Vinny? And this is from a guy that loves Vinny. Like he is a handful. He is going to be someone that you have to be willing to put up with, because obviously, well, now he's performing, but when the things are rough, like how are you gonna deal with him? It's a bruised ego, especially with the whole Kylian Mbappe thing. So I mean, like I really don't know what's the real solution. Maybe it is another Ancelotti puppet. Maybe it is just a guy that knows what works for this team and can. The other thing I will say, like, no offense to Arbeloa, but like you're not Zinedine Zidane. You're not. That's the whole thing that was different about that time when Zinedine Zidane took over, was because like he's an icon, he's a legend, and so players are going to receive him a little bit differently. He understands, and that's the crazy thing. Like Xabi Alonso's a player, like he deserves that kind of respect, but they didn't give it to him. So like, what does Arbeloa have that Xabi Alonso doesn't have? I think it's a downgrade, in my personal opinion. And this is a guy that remembers Arbeloa, and I enjoyed watching him play when he wasn't the greatest player on the field, but he was also a good piece to Real Madrid at the time. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my expectations are now. I'm assuming still in the Champions League discussion, as far as like qualifying for Champions League. But do I see them contending? Like if he finds a way, honestly, it just goes down to finding a way to get Kylian Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. on the pitch and working. When they can figure that out, because to be honest with you, Carlo Ancelotti wasn't able to figure that out either. So, and defensively, there's still issues. So we'll see what happens, man. Are we gonna see the 4-4-2 diamond? Are we gonna see the 4-3-3 formation? What are we gonna see? How are they going to use Arda? How are they going to use Kylian Mbappe? How are they going to use Vinny? How are they going to use Rodrigo? Is Rodrigo even in the discussion for Real Madrid? Where's Valverde going to play? Who's going to be the right back? So many questions, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to get that answer this season. So, sum it up, I'm pissed. I was already pissed off in this episode anyways, but now I'm just even more pissed off. So I think it's a terrible decision. But I'm happy for Xabi Alonso. He's gonna get that peace of mind. He's gonna go. He's gonna get another job, and hopefully a club that backs him, like Leverkusen did. Like another. I'm sure he'll get that treatment because he deserves that treatment. Real Madrid, you know, this is one of those times where it is rough to be a Real Madrid fan, a Real Madrid supporter, a Madrista. It is. This is one of those times. Uh, I don't think it was Carlo Ancelotti. I don't think it was Xabi Alonso's fault. I think it's the board. I think it's Fiorentino Perez. You just gave everybody clearly that you're gonna pick the players over the manager. And if I was a manager, I wouldn't want to come to this club. So maybe my mood changes. Maybe throughout the year, maybe if I can change and you can change, maybe we all can change, kind of thing, like Rocky always said. But I don't know. I'm pissed off. I am generally pissed off. So, but yeah, back to the show.
Yeah, and I mean, I've seen how they've been playing, and yeah, they're they're starting to get.
I had to send Edward the goals by the goals from Gonzalo Garcia that today. I had to send it to him. Those things were just beauties. I know I don't know if Edward saw them yet, but
I haven't seen him yet. I haven't seen him yet.
I know for a fact Edward's gonna like the first goal, which was the one that he shot with his right foot. The flick is just dirty. The flick is just dirty. The first goal that was a header, that's just textbook knowing where to go, where to be. So like everything about him, Gonzalo Garcia. The announcers were like, I see a lot of Benzema in him, which if you guys know, I've talked as much as I've talked about how Kylian Mbappe should play in this Real Madrid as the 9 for this team because he is the 9 for the team. He needs to play that Benzema role. Just needs to be able to play everywhere on the field and where he needs to be fitted. I think that's what worked with Benzema. That's how it worked well with him and Vinicius Jr. So that was kind of where I stood. But Gonzalo Garcia, like I'm not gonna compare him to Benzema, but he definitely did a lot of the things that I liked that Benzema did as the 9 for Real Madrid.
Like he's a quote unquote not the number 9. Like he's just not the
kind of like
for.
a false 9.
Okay.
That's kind of like because Gonzalo Garcia, what I was watching, if he needed to go to the wing, he went to the wing. If he needed to pull back and kind of help out a little bit with the midfield, he did that as well. Like he was just very unselfish, the way he was playing, which was very refreshing. As once again, the idiocracy that sometimes I see with Kylian Mbappe and Vinny, where they're both on the left flank for some weird reason. So it was refreshing, and I was really happy with it. And plus, I like Gonzalo Garcia. I thought he played really well, and I just love. I'm just happy for him that he could get a hat trick, especially with all the doubters that people immediately as soon as they announced that Kylian Mbappe was going to have a little bit of an injury going into this matchup, so he was going to be not available and might not be available for the Spanish Super Cup because you know how important that cup is to me. But yeah, like. Everyone's like, oh, we're so, Real Madrid's so dumb. They moved on from Endrick when this is his opportunity to showcase what he can do. And it's like, you guys forget that we had Gonzalo Garcia and he was amazing in the FIFA Club World Cup. So, yeah. But yeah, Xabi Alonso,
Yeah.
I need you to live up for me. Live up for my beliefs. For my sanctity.
All right. Well, I guess I'm in the same league at this point right now. Um, just need Barcelona to stay consistent. That's all I need because they've been playing pretty well, even if right now they're on top of the leaderboard. Um, they're 4 points ahead of Real Madrid. Um, but I just need them basically to just win the Liga. Like that's the New Year's resolution for Hansi Flick to win La Liga. Right now in the Champions League, they're like I want to say lower qualifying, like they're in the mid to lower qualifying teams.
I mean, PSG barely made it, and look how that Champions League ended. So I mean,
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like right now, I just need them to stay consistent to stay on top of it. keep it going is one thing. Stay healthy. I mean, dude, their game picked up as soon as Rafinha came back from injury. Oh my God, dude! As soon as Rafinha came back from injury, it's like the whole team picked up. You
I
know,
mean,
it's like he
especially for all the people that were putting Lamine Yamal over Rafinha for last year, like when everyone was talking about Ballon d'Or, like that just shows me
no
even more.
that
That just shows me even more
yeah,
why Rafinha is the more important player to Barcelona.
dude. Rafinha has that fucking the dude. It's not even a dog no more. That dude's a freaking horse. Like I
I
swear
mean,
that the work rate that
there's a
dude
reason why he's the
has.
captain. There's a reason why he's the
Yeah,
captain. The team feeds
and
off of
then
him.
dude, and then low key. And he's been a underdog this whole time because he constantly gets overshadowed by Lamine Yamal. But another young buck who made the game happen yesterday was Fermin Lopez.
Oh,
Dear God, the
I
dog
think
in that dude.
I think that is for me the one that got the phone number. I don't remember.
He no, that's Gavi. That's
That was
Gavi.
Gavi. Yeah, that's right.
Gavi's still injured, sadly. Gavi's still injured, but Fermin Lopez is filling in for Gavi, and he's basically doing that dog fight in
I
him,
no,
dude.
he's
Oh my
been.
God, dude.
I think
He is
for Barcelona he's been like a breath of fresh air, especially
yes.
all that has been happening because I think what going into the season like there was rumors that he wanted out of the club or something. I forgot some BS happened between
Because
him and
yeah, because it was some BS. It was just bullshit. It was bullshit. It's like,
sorry for
oh
cussing Kelsey.
well, since yeah, sorry, I forgot. New Year, no, still same old cussing over
No, well
here.
we get
Sorry.
cussed. We just remember always apologize for cussing. So
But yeah, dude, like Fermin Lopez, he's been on top of it, dude. I think he was the one that got both assists. Like the first goal, he won the ball, and then that's when Danny Olmo just tagged it up real nice too, real nice. Like it was just both of them came in as a sub. That's the thing. But yeah, freaking Fermin Lopez, man, that second goal. He fucking fought that shit for Lewandowski. Lewandowski just had to be there. That was it. But
I
he did.
just
And for me, Lopez did everything.
you say all this stuff and it's just like man, Spain's gonna be a problem in the World Cup. It's just like because we're Lamine Yamal. We just mentioned Fermin Lopez. Pedri's still there. Gavi,
Pedri's gonna be in the middle. They're not gonna let him
yeah.
go.
Gavi when healthy, he's gonna be a problem. He's gonna weirdly be wearing that number 9 shirt. That still bugs me.
He's
Yeah,
he's gonna be no, he could actually play as a striker. Just
no, yeah. I mean,
he has that striker mentality on him.
and
Even
I
if
mean,
he's like a mid, but
I don't like. The thing that's funny is like Spain doesn't really have a 9. I mean, they'll probably
no.
get Morata
Ferran
again.
Torres. They'll
Yeah,
probably get like Ferran Torres. They've been doing that.
that
Barcelona's
could
been doing that. They've been using Ferran Torres as a number 9.
that is true. Yeah, Spain's gonna be a problem. Spain is gonna be a
Yeah,
massive problem in the World Cup. But yeah, no, that's a good point though. Barcelona, I think consistency, uh, you know, didn't start great in the beginning.
they did not.
Did not start great in the beginning. But I mean, hey, if speak, as if you guys are watching the video version, you see I'm wearing a Texan shirt. I mean, they started terrible at the beginning of the season, and now they're in the playoffs.
Yeah, right.
They're not going to win the division because, as right now, I'm watching both the Texans and the Jaguars game at the same time, and yeah, Jaguars are running away
Dude,
with it.
Jaguars are their defense has been on point this season, dude.
They have been. I
They're-
don't like complimenting them, but I get it. I get it.
Oh, I mean, dude,
No,
and
they're
then
good.
fucking
Trevor
they're
Lawrence is actually
yes, I was about to
looking
say
great.
Trevor Lawrence has been fucking he's been in fantasy football. He actually was on nobody's pickup at all, I think, and the dude was pulling numbers left and
Yeah,
right, and that's when finally
I
somebody
probably.
picked him up.
Oh, we should probably flex as well. Insert name FC. Fantasy football champions of the Belly Up Sports
Are
fantasy football
you
league. We should probably flex that as well.
flex?
Yeah. So we beat all the quote unquote football experts, and,
we, we,
we did
we
it.
were looking at the wrong football, you know?
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. I wanna thank Derrick Henry. I want to thank Bijan Robinson, and I
Oh,
want
dude, Bijan was
and
on
Chase
fucking.
Brown. Chase Brown. I gotta thank you all
Oh,
three of you guys because Especially because I would have not won if it wasn't for you guys. Also, shout out to Caleb Williams, Bo Nix. You guys did great.
Mm.
Dalton Schultz. I don't know what happened in that championship game, but it didn't matter. We won. And so we were a great team, and yeah, we also started 0-3.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We started 0-3 and won the championship.
I remember texting you, "Hey, so how's it going over there on the other fantasy football?" Not good. I'm be like, "Why? We lost." I'm like, "Fuck."
I'm 0-3. It was
sorry, yeah, sorry, Kelsey. Sorry for cutting.
Yeah, the funny thing was just is because like whenever I've done anything with Belly Up Sports or or when we were on Hinge, I was like on top of everybody. I was like the lead, I was leader for all the things like in Pick'em and everything. And then next thing you know, I just choked everything away.
This time it was the opposite. This time you choked everything away first, then you drank a cup of water.
And then it was hilarious because what was it when we just started Belly Up? They did like that March Madness bracket. I was the leader for almost the entire tournament, and then next thing you know, I choked it away. So it was like it's just things I do. But anyways, that's not important. And obviously, we're talking about American football, and we're talking about football. And so, but yeah, no, yeah, Barcelona I think is gonna be, as long as they're consistent. I mean, but I think that this year in La Liga has been really really off. Atletico Madrid has been kind of frustrating to watch at times. Real Madrid has had their drama.
Yeah.
But I think, I think it's still up for anybody else is up for grabs. I hope Villarreal stays good, but I don't know. I think they can be exposed, but they have they've played really good defensively this first half of the season, so we'll see how that goes in the second half. But I think we're gonna be in store for a very dramatic finish in La Liga. At least I hope so. Because who else wants high cholesterol? So, who else wants high blood pressure going?
There you go. I was about to say. I was like, wait, what? I was like, are we eating fatty foods right now? What's going on?
High blood pressure. That's what it was. Our blood pressure.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens there. All right. So that's your second one, which is stay consistent for Barcelona.
Yeah, stay consistent for Barcelona, man.
All right, and my final New Year's resolution is Arsenal, get it done.
No.
Get it done. Get it done. Don't choke this away. Please don't. You know what? This is the year where we don't choke things away. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. That's the correlation. The correlation is going to be, I won the Fantasy Football League. Arsenal finally wins the Premier League after I don't know how many years of not winning the Premier League. That's just.
There's still a few games left.
There's a lot of games left. I know they're looking great in Champions League, but you never know. But yeah, so it's gonna Arsenal just get it done. Get it done. Can it be the year that they win the Premier League and their first ever Champions League? Maybe. I don't know. But just one of those things. Just win one of those things. That's all I need.
You're like, we haven't had a trophy in a long time.
Well, I mean, we've won the FA Cup, but I mean, like, this is probably one of the best eras of Arsenal. Like the way everything's clicking. Eze.
Since before the
Invincibles, obviously.
Well, the Invincibles, but also when Martin Odegaard first showed up.
Oh,
when he first showed up, everybody was like, "Oh my God!" Like he's gonna make the whole team better. And it was like, dude, he's just one guy. He's got to have a team built around him. And so little by little, it was like, it just finally it's coming to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
But same thing happened whenever they brought in Kai Havertz. Everybody's like, "Oh my God, he's gonna be fucking amazing."
I was not one of those people.
I know you weren't. I know you weren't. I was like, "Hey man, he's gonna be good for y'all." You were like, "I don't know." He plays in the center attacking mid position, and then all of a sudden they put him as a 9, and we're just like, wait, what? Like we were so confused. We were like,
bro. The funny thing is that that's what we're doing with Marino also could play the 9 apparently for Spain.
Right? Oh yeah, Miguel Marino. Yeah.
Honestly, he's probably one of our best players, by the way. And it's not like we spent a bunch of money on Victor Gyökeres by any means.
Oh yeah, no. Okay,
which
do
he's
you?
also been performing. He's also been performing, guys.
I was about to ask you. I was about to ask you. Do you think he's a little bit overhyped for y'all for Arsenal, Gyökeres?
No, I mean I think he does good. It's just I think with the way Arsenal plays, it's not like hyper focused necessarily on the nine.
Hmm.
I mean even this last game that they played against was it Villa? No, it wasn't Villa. West Ham. I don't
Was it? I
remember.
think yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, it wasn't. Or what?
No.
Whatever. The last game, it was a 3-2 win. That's all. That's all. The only thing that really matters is it was a win. Um, the goals don't really necessarily come from the nine. Like I mean, Declan Rice scored a beauty. We had, I mean, Gabi. Gabi scored a goal. Zuba Mendy, who I think is honestly like the best signing that Arsenal did this past offseason. And mind you, we also have Victor Gyökeres, but I don't know. I've been so high on Zuba Mendy. I think I might get his kit. That I might have to do it. It's between him and Califiori, but he just doesn't stay healthy enough. But yeah, it's been a pretty good team. Yeah, they have the players, man. The mentality is there. But obviously, Man City, it's starting to look a little scary there.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I believe they should have already, if they haven't already played Chelsea, the game should be almost done. Which we'll probably look at that because that is one of our headlines for today. But uh, yeah, so yeah, there's that. But yeah, Man City is looking a little bit dangerous now, and we'll talk about that in a bit. But Edward, what is your? Oh, it's a one. They drew 1-1.
Okay.
So thank you, Chelsea. Thank you, Chelsea, for keeping us giving us some space there. But Edward, what's your final New Year's resolution?
So my final New Year's resolution for me, and the funny enough is I haven't even mentioned it to you, and I was actually thinking about it when we were talking about it. Um, my New Year's resolution for me, is going to be for Manchester United to not fuck it up. Right now, they are in sixth place. They are, I want to say, in a decent position. Now, they've been okay. They're slowly, winning their games here and there. But hopefully they actually get it done. Now, I'll tell you, I will be saying I'm hopeful. Literally, it's like mostly ties that I've seen so far that these guys have been doing. But apparently the ties is what's helping them progress ahead of the table from being like it's 16th place, 12th place, ninth place. They're right now in sixth place. So they get like a win here and there, like I said, but it's like it's helping them. It's so weird, but I just need them to step it up a bit more. Um, I don't know what's going on in Manchester United. I don't. It's just going kind of crazy. I was excited for the Benjamin Chesko signing, but I guess maybe he still needs a little bit more time to uh to settle down to be like their number nine because Matias Cunha and Embueno, like, they're good. They're good. I think that's legit what Manchester United needs in wings. No more changing. That's good right now how they are. No more changing. It's just the that defense, man. Like it's still lacking. Like it's hard. I'm not gonna tell you that I would rather have like Matias Cunha over Jeremy Doku, on my left wing, but they're around, that's exactly what Manchester United needs right now. Um, but yeah, defense wise, they gotta fix up that defense. They need to. It's not looking too great. Um, Nothing against Lisandro Martinez, nothing against them, nothing against Matias Leg, but it's just they probably need to pick up a couple here and there or have somebody come up from the academy. Um, I know they've already they just need to step it up a bit more in order for them to be even considered to be a force to be reckoned with in the English Premier League, let alone if they even like get past a far away from like international competitions, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, whatever. But they need to step it up. That's my resolution for the EPL for Manchester United, basically, to get up. It's funny because like the way that these games have been going, what it reminds me of a lot? It's like a deja vu kind of feeling. Um, when Old Gunner first started, it's like they were playing like okay, they weren't that great. And they were like getting ties here and there, and then they'd get like random ass wins, and we were like that it was like that was the whole point of like the Old Gunner joke, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
It was like just random ass just randomness. That's how I feel right now. It's like all these ties coming out of nowhere. They get ahead by one or two goals, and all of a sudden they come back and they either get scored two goals on, or if they're low or they're below, or like if they're losing and they somehow win by they end up catching up by the one goal, the two goals, and I'm just like, what in the hell was this? The whole fucking first half. Where was this? Like, where was this at? Like, I'm like I'm in shock and awe kind of feel. So yeah, that's that's my thing. Mine's for Manchester United to get up there.
Mm,
Hmm.
that is it's a very good one.
Yeah, to just stay to not stay consistent, but to actually step it up.
No, yeah, I get that one. I totally get that one. So yeah, those are our New Year's resolutions. I would also add, just this doesn't, it's not gonna go towards them, but um, I need the Houston Dynamo to stop torturing me, because they apparently, so we sold Mikhail to Palmeiras, which sucked because he was probably one of our best defenders, and I don't necessarily feel like we have some good defenders at this point. I don't know how many times we're speculating to get another center back, but um, for him to now be rumored, rumored to go on loan to Inter Miami is like a total shot in the crotch for me. So that sucked. So I need Pat, Asher, um, Ben, Tony. You really have nothing to do with this, but I'm just gonna throw you in there anyways. I need you guys to help me with my blood pressure and not kill me. Let's not kill me this year. I would like to not die in 2026. So let's do some good signings. Maybe finally see some academy players play finally, and make me be emotional in that aspect to finally see some guys that I got to work alongside, finally make their debuts. That would be really cool. But yeah, Mikhail going to Inter Miami is not a great one, but I digress on that one. Edward, is there any additional that you want to add, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
All right. So we do have two headlines for this episode. If there is any like emergency headlines that need to be addressed, I'll probably touch up on them when we get there. But these are two really big ones that immediately came into the new year, so we might as well address them right now. Obviously, at this point, it's essentially old news, but since when have we been accurate on updates? So, we'll just stay to our brand. But Edward, Enzo Maresca has been shown the door at Chelsea.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about that.
So, and which is crazy. Many people are probably like, maybe are wondering, just like I was. The guy won you the Europa Conference League because you know how prestigious that trophy is. Which, by the way, I will say, I did mention how that win could really elevate Chelsea on for the next season. As a matter of fact, my dumbass said that Chelsea was going to be a major threat this year, and I'm glad I'm wrong. So, but Chelsea just literally beat the living dog shit. Sorry for cussing, Kelsey. On every team in that Europa League, by the way. Like, it was not close. Like, no one was close to beating that Chelsea team. That Chelsea team was very much, it was very much men amongst boys. No offense to all the teams that compete in the Europa Conference League, but let's be honest. All right? I do love that Tottenham was eliminated in this tournament, by the way, in a previous tournament. But anyways, the guy won the Club World Cup. That's that. Should we rate the Club World Cup?
Mm, what do you? Yeah, that is true. They did. Chelsea did. They did win that international tournament.
They beat
Um,
PSG.
yeah, they did. They beat
Like
PSG. Then
yeah,
that's when PSG had just gotten the
the
Champions
Champions
League.
League.
That was just yeah, yeah.
Like
Hmm.
like
Damn. So
you
you're letting go of that guy?
you let go of the guy that won the Club World Cup. You let the guy that awkwardly had to sit there and watch Donald Trump be at the trophy lift. Like that
Yeah,
guy. Like
that guy.
that's why I'm like that's why I'm questioning this right now. Should we be rating the Club World Cup? Because if it really holds no value, does that not like at least save your job for like maybe another month?
I like how you say it like that.
Like
Wouldn't that save your money?
like
Wouldn't that save
is that
your money?
enough to be like, well, he did win us the Club World Cup? Like, like for instance, like okay, well, Real Madrid's a terrible example. Manchester United. If you guys win the Champions League, are you guys? I don't think you guys are in Champions. Are you guys in Champions League? No, no, no,
No, no, no.
no.
They're in the what's it called? The Europa League.
Europa League. All right. Oh, that's right. That's right. You guys were in the final with.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, but Europa League's not a good example. Okay, you win the FA Cup. Well, you guys have
Hmm.
done that. So.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Okay, never mind. New team. Fulham.
Oh my God.
Fulham. Actually, no, Crystal Palace, because they did it. Crystal
Yeah.
Palace wins the FA Cup, right? And hopefully somehow their manager doesn't get overbought and goes to another team. But
Hmm.
let's say the manager of Crystal Palace, the next season, it's not great, which is obviously a farce because I think Crystal Palace is actually doing pretty good this year. They're not doing great. But if you're the board, you're like, well, he did win his the FA and also won the FA Community Shield. Maybe that matters to them. But do you not be like, well, he did win us the FA Cup. That was kind of cool. Against Man City of all teams, by the way.
Oh,
So,
that's right. They was Man City.
like, like if you go, like, let's say he goes through a stretch of like 10 games, maybe he has like three wins and 2 draws, which means 5 losses. If you could do the math there. Do you sit there and just be like, you probably should fire him, but he did win us the FA Cup?
Hmm. That's a iffy. Because basically now you're waiting to see what he can do now in the main season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're waiting for him to actually be like, all right, let's
But
see.
how much leeway do you give somebody if they won like something as significant?
Mm,
Because I mean, Chelsea, first time winner of the newly expanded FIFA Club World Cup, right?
yeah.
Like you got to say you played against the quote unquote best of the best in the world, and apparently in very harsh conditions, the way they compared it to the playing in the U.S.
They said it was like in a they were having heat strokes. They were saying that it was like water break constantly. They just yeah, they kept saying that it was just not what was it? Not humanitarian enough to be
Yeah, so
like how do people live here kind of
yeah,
shit.
can't wait for you guys to play the FIFA Club World Cup in Saudi Arabia. So,
Right.
but like, do you like if you're Chelsea, like, does that get you leeway as a manager?
Mm. Honestly, not as much. You do
Okay,
get some, but not as much.
okay, that's all I needed to hear you say. It took a while, but we got there. All right, so the main reason why Enzo might ask, at least, let's be honest, Chelsea, which, like I said, they were in the top 4 at one point. Actually, as a matter of fact, when me and Jose were recapping the first half of the Premier League, Chelsea was in like the top 4. They were in a Champions League spot in December, which apparently it was, just the roughest month for Chelsea. In their last Premier League matches, not including Champions League and not including the EFL Cup, they drew against Bournemouth. They beat Everton 2-0. They drew against Newcastle. They lost to Aston Villa. And then in the flip around, drew against Bournemouth 2-2. So only one victory in their last 5 games, and it was against Everton. Now, if you want to add also Champions League, you did lose 2-1 against Atalanta, which apparently don't look at them in the Serie A, but watch them in Champions League. That's apparently the
That's the
method.
gist of it. Yeah.
That's the gist of it for Atalanta. And then the EFL Cup, they won 3-1 against Cardiff, which I'm not trying to say anything bad about Cardiff, but it is Cardiff. And as of
It's not a bad thing. It's because we know they just barely they're recent to be in the EPL.
No, they're not even in the EPL.
Oh.
It's a Carabao Cup.
Oh, Carabao. My bad. I'm over here thinking I was
EFL Carabao. Yeah. And right now, because as of right now, yeah, they're still in 5th place. So they're still in 5th place. They're 3 points behind Liverpool. And but let's just say they got a ways to go before they're at first place to Arsenal. So yeah, it's a very frustrating stretch of games. And but I would ask you, Edward, is this more so on the manager, or can you say it also goes down to the fact that there has really not been much direction? At least we don't know the direction that Chelsea wants to do. Like, what's the identity of Chelsea? Since Todd Bowley has taken over, because remember it used to be a Russian owner. Since Todd Bowley, you had Thomas Tuchel, you had Mauricio Pochettino, and now you have Enzo Maresca, who a lot of people were really high on him because look what he did with Leicester City and got them promoted up to the Prem, and you do things what you always do with teams that look really good. You steal players from that team before they go into the Premier League, and Enzo Maresca was one of those guys. I don't know if he's a protege of Pep Guardiola, but he definitely looks the bill.
Right.
But is this more so of like, once again, no one knows what the hell Chelsea's doing, because since Todd Bowley took over, they spent lots and lots of money on lots and lots of players, almost jokingly, not really happen, but jokingly, to the point where they had no room in that locker room. They had no more locker room spots for these guys. And we know, obviously they have also Strasbourg as kind of their farm team, if you will. But like, is this all on Enzo Maresca, or is it just, once again, Chelsea hasn't really figured it out?
I think they still haven't even, because even like, you're right, dude. You're trying to figure out like the face of Chelsea, or like you're trying to figure out what their role is, of what are their goals at, and to this day I don't know what they are. Like I don't know what it is. Thomas Tuchel, like, we already knew that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to build a Champions League team. That was his whole thing. Like, we knew that.
I mean, and that guy got fired because he just didn't want to bring Cristiano Ronaldo into Chelsea. And so
yeah, it was just a manager owner dispute. That's all.
And then you bring in Pochettino, and Pochettino,
he's good. He's good.
Say what you want about the guy.
He's good.
Like, to me, like, the greatest thing that he can have on his resume, he got Tottenham in the Champions League final. That is an impressive feat. That team sucks. And so, like, for him to be able to do that, but it's because the players all buy in on him. He's a rah-rah guy. Everyone rallies around this guy. Like, look at bro got guys named Alex Freeman, Diego Luna, and I forgot, Sebastian Berhalter, to believe they can beat the crap out of anybody. So, like, literally, so, watch that Paraguay game. But
oh yeah, dude, fucking Diego Luna came out as Diego Luna was like the dog at that game.
So, like, obviously, not saying that he's like the greatest manager of all time. Hasn't really won many things, but
I feel like he's what do you call that? He's like a Ronin manager. Like he's like a roamer. Like if you have players who are just like roaming warriors kind of shit. Like
Mm.
they're trying to figure out what kind of player they are themselves. It's like he can tell you, hey, you know what? I see you have some scrap in you. He's like a player's manager.
Hey guys, this is Hector from the Insert Name FC podcast here to tell you guys about Canada Dips. It is a great tasting, superior alternative to traditional dip using CBD in a way that is radical, enjoyable, and effective. It comes in 5 core flavors: wintergreen, mint, citrus, mango, and American spice. Canada Dip CBD is the new evolution in dip, allowing guys to enjoy great, long-lasting taste without the downsides. If you guys want to go ahead and try them out, use the code BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com. Once again, BELLYUP20 at CanadipCBD.com, and you'll get yourself 20% off your purchase. Thank you again for Canadips for being a great partner of Belly Up Sports.
Like kind of deal where he can actually talk to them and communicate with them and see where kind of like a eye to eye kind of deal.
I get what you're saying, but it also, I will say, it is hard to try to. With PSG, at least the PSG job.
Well, yeah, with PSG,
it was pretty hard when you have like Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi is not the one you need to worry about, but when you have Neymar and Kylian Mbappe as your front three, it's kind of I can see the challenge behind that one.
Yeah, but, you can't talk down on them. Basically, is what you're saying.
Yeah, though Luis Enrique did not shy away from doing that.
Oh hell no, he didn't care.
But
I mean, it paid off for him.
Oh, definitely. But that kind of goes, once again, you had like managers that I would say have pretty good resumes. Enzo Maresca, what he was able to do with Leicester City. Once again, I don't know why. I think he used to work. I think he was another student of like Pep Guardiola's, which I mean, guys that have come out of the Pep Guardiola tree have done pretty well for themselves.
Yeah,
you know, so like it's not a bad guy to take tutelage from. You know what I mean? So. I'm thinking he was a Pep guy, but that could be wrong. But you know, once again, Enzo Maresca, really good mind. Something about Italian guys, bro. There's just something about those Italians. They're just really good tactically. But and to the point where a lot of the players in the club were shocked. They were shocked, and some may I've said, well, Jota, Neto, no, not Neto, not Jota, Neto actually said that he was actually very sad that, you know, Enzo Maresca left. And by the way, he didn't say nothing. Said nothing. He just left. He's like, all right, cool, peace, and then just left. Which I don't blame him. Like, I mean, if there is frustration with the board, but to be fair though, I think Maresca also saw the writing on the wall, because once again, you're not having a great month. You're losing footing on in the Champions League race. At one point, Chelsea was in the discussion for the Premier League. Now, at best, they can get that 4th place spot. At least what the things are looking. And you're losing a lot of ground. You're losing a lot of footing to be in that position to be one of the top teams. You know, especially after all the excitement that came from the summer, where you won the FIFA Club World Cup, and it just seems like this team is just going to be another year for Chelsea. At least that's what it's looking like. And I think Enzo Maresca saw the writing on the wall, in his opinion, after that second draw with Bournemouth, that he was prepared to leave the club.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm looking up right now. Enzo Maresca, yeah, he is a Pep Guardiola. He was the assistant manager. He went back to Man City after I believe it was Parma. He did a stint at Parma, and then he went back to Man City in 2022 to be assistant manager to Pep Guardiola.
Okay,
so yeah, you were right. And then he went to Leicester City after that, and then that's when he went to Chelsea.
Yeah, so he is a student of Pep Guardiola, which leads into it. So Chelsea sacks him, and I will say a good amount of Chelsea fans, I won't say all of them, but a good amount of Chelsea fans do, or maybe not Chelsea fans, but just a lot of people just kind of were shocked by this. I was shocked by this because I do view Enzo Maresca as a really good manager. That's my opinion. I'm sure someone will disagree with me. But it was like some players were shocked, just as I was shocked. I was like, really? You're not going to give him January to get it done? I don't necessarily feel like there's a lot of like unless they just feel like they wanted to win the Premier League this year, which I mean every team should want to win the Premier League.
Yeah.
But if they feel like that they can't fall out and Enzo's just not the guy for them, then by all means. But like I feel like going into this month, because Chelsea's gonna trim a lot of fat, and
Yeah.
they're trimming a lot of fat. A lot of guys are leaving Chelsea, specifically the younger players, like the guys that don't play as much, which you can view that as a good or bad thing. That's up to you. But and I'm sure Chelsea was going to try to bring in some players as well. But I just don't think you make this drastic of a decision unless you felt he's not your guy and you need to bring in somebody that can lead you to the Premier League. Right now, for me, their objective should be like, let's get back in the top four. If Arsenal can somehow start choking away games, then we can start talking about the conversation of, back in for the Premier League title. But I don't know. To me, I think it was crazy that Maresca left. I will give him. This is the leeway. This would have been the leeway for the for the Club World Cup. Like, here's the leeway I would have thrown. Yeah, but he did win the Club World Cup. Let's just see what he can do. Let's see what he does.
Give him, yeah, like
I'll
give him to the end of the season.
I'll give him January. If we're still looking bad in January, all right, let's cut our losses. And I know that sounds crazy because you're gonna give up, and maybe that's what it is. They want to bring in a guy that can come in the January transfer window, maybe find some guys that he needs to bring into this team, and then finish strong in the second half. But also, there's not a lot of deals that get done in January.
No, not really.
Like, nothing significant. So like, I mean, yes, there's a few like home run hitters like Kvaratskhelia to PSG, but those are very rare that we find. So like, I think that was like, to me, my whole thing. I think it's crazy that Maresca did get fired, but hey, you know what? He leaves, and and you and me probably both feel the same way. This guy's gonna get a job.
Oh yeah,
he's getting a job elsewhere. Like, I don't know about top clubs, but he is gonna get somewhere where he's great. Once again, he's a student of Pep Guardiola. So what does he do? He returns to Manchester City to be an assistant for Pep Guardiola, and with the plan, because we know Pep loves those 1-year contracts. Yep. So he is set to be Pep's successor at Manchester City.
Oh, you know what would be funny? You know what would be like the irony of it all? He goes back to do assistant managing at Man City. He takes over Man City. Man City goes against Chelsea. They end up bombarding the crap out of Chelsea and whoever the new manager is.
Oh, I could definitely see that happening. Definitely. But so essentially, he's returning to Man City, not just to be an assistant. Like, he is set. Like, Man City believes that this is our guy. So
because I mean, Pep already, I think he has that vibe of like Jurgen Klopp kind of vibe where he's just like, yeah, I need to take some time, need to step away from it all for a little bit.
What else does he have to prove?
He doesn't. He complete, dude. He got everything with Barcelona. Went to Bayern, got everything with Bayern
except the Champions League.
Except the Champions League. But dude, I mean, when he was running Bayern, dude, like that's when everybody was trying to get all of the Bayern players.
Well, because at the time, a lot of people were just like, "Oh, he was just lucky he was at Barcelona." Not like it's not like he rebuilt the La Masia, and he didn't just rebuild that team to be one of the biggest dynasties for years. Because basically, after him, every manager that took over won a Champions League. At least it felt like it. But like, and then Bayern. I mean, Bayern. Let's be honest. Like, I mean, Vincent Kompany. It looks great at Bayern. It's not that hard because it's a good team.
Hey, no. Listen to me. Me personally, Vincent Kompany at Bayern, he's not living up to the hype or to the expectations of the Bayern that you have now.
That goes more towards the structure of Bayern. I think, because I mean, like, and yes, you're right. You put in a great manager like a Pep Guardiola, like a Carlo Ancelotti. They're gonna make things happen. They're gonna live up to the hype. Vincent Kompany, which stumbled on this job, which I still have no idea how he got this job. Like,
It's the name.
How do you watch him at Burnley and be like, you know what? Let him lead the biggest club in Germany. So, but it's him. It is 100% him.
Yeah.
It's the respect that Vincent Company brings with just his name alone. You're absolutely right. I'm not.
Yep.
This isn't me taking jabs. Actually, it is me taking jabs at Vincent Company. Like
You're like not taking jabs at the name or the person, taking jabs at the manager.
like the manager. Like you don't you don't do terrible at Burnley. Like you to be like I would love to be that bad and then get a better job. Like you know what I mean? Like, I would love for that to happen to me, but that's not the reality. But so yeah, so like and like I said, Enzo Maresca is said essentially he is going to be an assistant for Pep, however long he stays for Man City. Which once again he has done almost everything that you want as a club manager. You know, had built the legacy of Barcelona. Like, dude took a risk and like moved on from Ronaldinho. Like, you know, not many guys would ever. I'm sure. Well, maybe ever because he likes Messi, but like most guys from outsider's perspective, think that's a crazy move to move on from arguably.
Like I'm gonna be honest with you. Ronaldinho is my favorite player of all time, so I probably would not have moved from him. I would have just stuck him around and been like, "Look, bro, I need you to be this type of way, man. Please, please." And then fucking yeah,
But yeah,
I would
but
have,
you
yeah,
know, the man just knew what he needed to do. Then goes to Bayern
yeah.
Munich, proves that he's not just a product of Barcelona. He very much is his own man. And I mean, built a very dominant team. Didn't win the Champions League, but was a very dominant force in the Champions League still,
Oh, you're all over Europe,
all over Europe.
actually.
You
Yeah,
get the
like
Man City job, a team that yes has seen Premier League success, but not at the level once he took over.
yeah.
Not at the level that he took over. I mean, the dude was winning quadruples. Dude was won the Champions League for the first time in the club's history. Wins the Champions League. Like Pep Guardiola is just. What else does he have to prove? Maybe he takes on that international stage.
And you know,
Maybe he
and
wants to represent Spain. Maybe whatever. But he's going to leave. Like and I think you said it right with the whole Klopp description. At one point, he just wants to take a break. Like I mean, the dude studies film all day. You know, at some point he wants to just not study film, and so I think that you're absolutely right. And I think Enzo Maresca getting essentially the keys to this. Let me see this McLaren that's a British car, right?
yeah,
Okay, that this McLaren that Pep built. You know, like he was like, oh, it's a good car, but I can make it so much better. You know, like given that. And I think Enzo Maresca might be the right guy. Maybe he decides to put some Ferrari parts in it just to make it a little bit better. But so I mean, Enzo at this point is sitting pretty. Like,
yep,
okay, I just left. Honestly, like at this point, more and more, I feel like it's kind of like comical what Chelsea has been since they
yeah.
moved on from the new ownership. Once again, I'm not gonna share my thoughts on that whole thing, but like I think. With all that being said, like he's sitting pretty. He left a place that maybe you would say, compared to Man City, is just not as healthy.
Yeah.
So I think Man City, you're great for him, but now you gotta look at Chelsea, right? Like, what do they do to move on from their manager, the guy that the guy that won you once again, the first ever expanded FIFA Club World Cup, but you need a guy that can come in right away and get you back on track. A guy with winning experience, a guy that can, do you take a flyer on a guy that has almost little experience or probably doesn't have as the experience of having a top level Premier League experience?
Mm, well, that's one thing I was going to also talk about right now. With the whole Pep dynasty kind of deal. I mean, that would kind of cement Pep as a probably one of the best managers if the manager that he trained leaves and actually he does basically the same one and the same just as he did and wins. That was
I
that
mean,
would basically cement Pep to be like, damn, your student basically became you.
yeah.
And you went ahead and you just retired and you left him with that and
I mean,
that's it.
it's a fair argument because I mean, Mikel Arteta is
Yeah.
one of his guys.
Yep.
Don't look at Ten Hag, but like, yeah, he has a pretty good like his guys do have pretty good track records. So
hmm
I think that yeah, I think and Pep has had to say something, right? As soon as Enzo like left the club, like he had to have talked to the board in some way to throw out this idea, to this whole successor idea. Um, because once again, he knows Pep's system. He knows
Hmm.
how Pep runs things, and I'm sure he has some. Not obviously, it's almost a whole new group of players. I get that, but there's still some guys from from his previous time there that I'm sure understand that know him very well. So you want to talk about an ideal situation for a guy? That is probably the best place for Enzo Maresca. Now going back to Chelsea, like I said, you need a manager that knows how to win in these top leagues. Maybe not take a flyer on a young person, because if you're gonna take the Amorin role, the Amorin path,
Yeah,
prepare to be patient. But
extremely patient because
if you want a guy that's gonna help you win now, you have to go get those win now type guys, the guys that know how to win trophies, the guys that know, you know, obviously Carlo Ancelotti is not available, but like, which would be funny because obviously he did manage Chelsea,
yeah,
once, but like you have to go for those guys that just an Antonio Conte, Carlo Ancelotti, a lot of Italians for some weird reason, but like those are the guys that you're going after. You should be going after. But I'm gonna list you the names that have all been linked to this Chelsea job now. Liam Rossignol, who is currently the manager for Strasbourg. He once again, Chelsea loves poaching teams from players from Strasbourg, because that's kind of like their little farm system right there. Rossignol, young manager, kind of going against what I said, but he is linked to be the heavy favorite to take over Chelsea. Which, if that's the case, I don't know. I don't know, Edward. Like, if the objective is to win the Premier League, that's not a win the Premier League move, in my
yeah.
opinion. I could be wrong, but if it's to get in the Champions League, I think that's the right guy. Like you're essentially been grooming this guy to be with Chelsea's philosophy. So I think that's not a bad idea. But if if your goal is to win the Premier League, then that is not the guy you go after. That was my thoughts.
Okay.
Roberto De Zerbi, who is currently in Marseille. Obviously, Marseille looks pretty good right now. He was the former manager of Brighton. He was supposed to get the Liverpool job. That didn't happen. He was supposed to get the Barcelona job. That also didn't happen. So, but he is kind of that next hot new guy, weirdly enough Italian, that was supposed to be the next big thing as a manager. Obviously, those jobs didn't come to full fruition, and then he ended up taking the job at Marseille, which once again they look really good. Mason Greenwood, top goal scorer right now in Ligue 1. So, is that the move you go after? Do you go after that guy? For some reason, someone rumored John Terry. I think that's a terrible idea. Hide your wives, hide your girlfriends. The guy has no experience. I looked everywhere. I looked everywhere. If he had any coaching background, he does not. That's definitely that's worse than Liam Rossignol. So Rossignol. So I don't. Okay, all right.
He's. I think it's just a respect. It's the same thing with Lampard. Remember,
Yeah,
same thing with Lampard. Lampard. When Chelsea needed a manager, guess look what happened. Like Lampard.
that's
Like
true.
like they just like okay, he's got the respect. But that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
It's just a respect move.
yeah, yeah. Which I think he's doing pretty well. Coventry City. Don't quote me on that. I feel like at some point you have to throw out Jurgen Klopp just to say it. Who is currently a advisor for Red Bull.
Oh, man.
So take that for what you want. I don't think this. I don't know. I don't think how. I don't think this is realistic at all. By any means, I don't think Jurgen Klopp is a realistic one. I think he was very adamant that because his name has been dropped even for Real Madrid. I don't think that's true. I would love it, but I know it's not true. And once again, I believe in Xabi Alonso, so you know, stop trying to flirt with me with Jurgen Klopp. Um, Zinedine Zidane, who
Oh,
who has not has not at all been managing for quite some time. And the last time he managed was obviously the his dominance that he had with Real Madrid. So take that with a grain of salt. But can he, like, the thing is, to me, like, I get if anyone has any hesitancy with Zinedine Zidane. I 100% get it. And the reason why I say I get it is because, like, that Real Madrid team was loaded. And also, all he had to do, he just really copy and pasted, Carlo Ancelotti's tactics.
Yep.
So, like, not to take jabs at it. Obviously, Zinedine Zidane, former player, knows how to play and all that stuff. Was coaching under Jose Mourinho and was a coach under Carlo Ancelotti. But like I mean, I get for people that why would they would be hesitant to take a flyer on him because, like, do you know if he can build his own culture? Is at least is that part. So, but I think kind of similar with Jurgen Klopp. I feel like you just have to throw that name out just to throw that name out. So that's where I'm at with that one. Cesc Fabregas
Oh,
is another rumor that name that's dropped in there. Obviously, currently managing Como. I believe Como's living up to, like, playing above their expectations right now in Serie A, which is really good for them. But they're, I would say, on the cusp of being stripped apart because Nico Paz is set to return to Real Madrid in the summer. So, and I'm sure there's going to be more players that are going to be leaving Como as well. So that could be could be maybe that's Cesc Fabregas' sign to maybe I need to go look for another club. Maybe he returns to Chelsea, which I would hate that, but I get it. Um, um, I'm surprised that I've not seen Xavi Hernandez
he's
because that's another name that always gets dropped. That's the only reason why I'm saying that. I'm not saying it like to be a dick to you, Edward, but, like, similar with Jurgen Klopp as anything is done. I always feel like Xavi Hernandez is also thrown in with those three. When it comes to, like, obviously not with Real Madrid, but, like, any job opening, Manchester United, I believe Xavi Hernandez was thrown out there for that job as well. But yeah, like I said, Liam Rossignol seems to be the head favorite, like the clear, obvious choice. Which, if that's the case, you could have just kept Enzo Maresca.
yeah.
And the only reason why I say that is because if your objective is just to make top four, and then get into Champions League, and then hope that the summer after the World Cup you can bring in some players that can be impactful, ship away some players because that's also what you need to be doing. Um, then we can start talking about, like, getting this team back on track and maybe potentially win for the compete for the Premier League. But, like, if you're not going after, if you're not really going to go after a Jurgen Klopp, if you're not really going to go after Zinedine Zidane, Cesc Fabregas, I feel like you're still taking a flyer because it's not like, I mean, is he doing great with Como? Yes. Is that going to correlate to the Premier League? I have no idea. Like, weirdly enough, to me, like, I would probably take I would take more of the risk with Roberto De Zerbi.
Okay.
But he doesn't have winning experience. That's the only gripe I have with that one. So, but if my goal is just to get in top four, just go right with Liam. I think Strasbourg has done fairly well for themselves. It is on brand for Chelsea because Chelsea gives two craps about what happens to Strasbourg after they deplete that team. So, like, why not go after that manager? And I mean, despite all of that, Strasbourg has still looked somewhat decent over there in Ligue 1. But that's also, once again, if you actually want to just qualify by Champions League. If that's just your goal, is to surpass Liverpool and get into that Champions League spot, then yeah, that's the guy. But if not, then pay Cesc Fabregas a lot of money.
Cesc Fabregas, we've known he's actually has a very, very good midfield mentality. Like he has the mentality to build a team. And he's been in Como for how long now? Like, shit. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if Chelsea goes for Cesc Fabregas, I mean, they would be a good stepping stone for him. But I can't speak for the team itself because I don't know with the players that they have at Chelsea now. I don't know if Cesc will be able to create that team. that he's looking to make. And the EPL where he's playing right now, compared to Como, is it's a whole different beast. So yeah, but I think if anything, Chelsea's more smarter idea would be, or the more logical choice would be Fabregas.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah,
that's me.
no, I think the logic is there. I would say that as well. Um, Definitely, I think that that would be the route I would go. Is Chess Fabregas, but I mean, like, yeah, it's an insane journey. It's an insane emotional couple of days. If you're a Chelsea fan, I wonder how this what they're going through right now. But yeah, like they need to bring in a guy that can help you win and stay afloat and qualify for European competition. And we'll see what happens for them. But yeah, it ain't looking good. But we'll see if they can find somebody that can. I mean, they got the money. Chelsea's got the money, so I mean, as long as they have that, things can happen. But that's gonna be a really interesting turn of events of who they bring in and uh, what's necessarily gonna be what's the future hold for Chelsea Football Club. All right, guys, I want to just jump in here real quick because once again, like I said, there was going to be an update. It is official. Liam Rosignor is going to be Rosignor. I don't know. I think it's French. Is has been hired. He is going to be the new manager for Chelsea. My opinion doesn't change. I don't know. This is he could be a home run hitter. I'm not saying that he's not, but I mean, um, I think his job is really just to keep the season afloat. I don't know if contending for the Premier League is going to be necessarily the objective. I know that that's going to be still what's strived for, but it's going to be interesting to see how he's able to gel right away with this Chelsea team. What can he really do in these next coming matches to really put his footprint on the club. So we'll see how it does. But I think it's a really interesting hire. I think he's he he's intriguing. I've watched a lot. I've watched some Strasbourg matches. I think they've really gotten better over the years, and I don't know. We'll see what happens, man. But on top of that, Ruben Amorim sacked. He is no longer with Manchester United. Don't know who's in charge of them, but they did just have like a really bad loss. Well, not bad loss, but they did lose to Brighton in the FA Cup, so they're out of the FA Cup. But so there's also that. Do I remember if we never talked about the FA Cup? Maybe I think we talked about a lot of things. But anyways, so Ruben Amorim is sacked, so that is another job that's open. Do they keep with a caretaker or do they hire a guy right away? Speaking of a guy that was hired right away after having a caretaker in between in the meantime, Wilfred Nancy has also been sacked from Celtic. Um, can't really say much because not the caretaker manager that they brought back won right away. Uh, it was maybe not a hard opponent, but still nonetheless. I mean, within just like I believe it was like 33 days that Wilfred Nancy was in charge of Celtic. Uh, just not positive results. One of them being an old firm derby loss. So you lost to the team that you're contesting, which I believe is Hearts for the Scottish Premier League, and on top of that, you lost to Rangers. At the end of the day, you lose a derby. That's I think regardless of what the form is, it's unacceptable. Um, Sucks as someone that is a fan of Wilfred Nancy. Like I said, he is viewed as one of the better managers, probably the best manager out of Major League Soccer. Um, and it just didn't pan out. I think that it could have been a lot of factors coming into why it didn't pan out, but at the end of the day, it didn't pan out. So there is that. But yeah, that's the update. Hopefully, I didn't go too long on that one, but yeah, we'll go ahead and get back into the discussion.
Yeah. Well, we shall see.
All right, and the last headline is so another thing that happened in this New Year's where I was just like, what the hell? Which is Sergio Ramos, who, if you guys don't know, is obviously a legend at Real Madrid. But if you guys didn't know, he previously played for Sevilla. That's where he started. That was his boyhood club. He came up through that system. And obviously Real Madrid doing what Real Madrid does best, and that is stealing those good players. So he did that, and obviously he still has a piece of him that still has belief in Sevilla. Obviously, did end up at one point returning to Sevilla to captain that team. But yes, he is apparently now attempting to purchase his boyhood club.
Wow.
So he
I
has,
wonder how much is it worth if he's trying to purchase it?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's a lot of money. But he is interested in becoming a minority owner. That is the theme right
Oh,
here.
okay.
Minority owner. So as far as I know, I thought that Ramos was going to be competing with that group, but it seems like now he's actually joining forces with that group, which is Antonio Lapi y Fede Quintero are leading a team of Americans in hopes of buying Sevilla.
Oh, wow.
So once again, Sergio Ramos has shown interest that he wants to become a minority owner. Initially, I think what I was reading was that he was part of another group that was interested in buying Sevilla, but I guess that is not the case. He is actually joining this group, and has now become essentially the face. Because obviously, even though he's a
And how
minority
could
owner,
yeah, he's gonna be at the face. That's the thing. It's like he's gonna be the one to be like, look, you guys, I will be the one, you know, just talking to everybody basically. So
like
that way
y'all
they
y'all do
know.
y'all do all the money stuff. Y'all figure
Yeah,
out the buying stuff and get all that right. I'ma just be the guy. like
yeah.
so so I think that's an interesting aspect to it all. But yes, so Sergio Ramos, he is very fixated on buying his boyhood club. This would not be the first time a player that is active has ownership of a team. I believe Luka Modric owns a team as well. There's some other players that I mean, obviously Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez have now a team that just got promoted um, in Uruguay, so that's also pretty interesting. At one point, Mesut Ozil he owns part of Necaxa, so there are teams that are players that are active that do have ownership of clubs, across the world. Actually, Chris Richards, I believe he's part owner of a team in Alabama, because if you guys don't know, Chris Richards is actually from Alabama, even though he's an FC Dallas product. But yeah, so this isn't like anything different. There's a lot of players that do this. It's very common. But if you guys are wondering, is Ramos essentially retiring? He is not. He is not retiring. And
He's not.
he is not retiring. As a matter of fact, he still is rumored to continue playing. If you guys don't remember, he left Monterrey to return to Europe in hopes of getting a spot at the World Cup, which at first I thought was kind of crazy, and then I looked at the Spanish roster and I was like, you know what, he might not be crazy at all, because when I was reading into it, but it is rumored that he will be joining AC Milan. Obviously, there's images of him hanging out with Luka Modric over in Italy. I think the rumors are very strong that he is going to be joining AC Milan, which I think is going to be a great fit for him. I think Serie A is actually the right route for him to go. But yeah, so he is very much interested in still playing, but he also wants to, I guess, make his money work for him, I guess, if you will. So that's gonna be interesting. Now, Edward, how do you feel about just everything that I just said, like the whole Sergio Ramos, the owner, Ramos the owner, not Ramos
The player.
the player,
Mm.
and
Dude, honestly,
little bit the
honestly,
player.
okay, I mean, honestly, I could see that. I could see that. Look, Sergio Ramos to me, yes, a leader of men, like the captain, el capitán. Like I believe that. But when it comes to being a manager or an owner, I see him more as an owner than I would a manager. Like if you were to tell me, oh, he's going to try to manage Sevilla, I'm gonna be like, that motherfucker's about to fight I'm sorry for cussing, Kelsey. They're about to fight every single game. There's going to be a red card. Sergio Ramos is going to walk out with a red card because he is not a man of patience. So I feel like him being the owner would be a lot better because I feel like he has more of a us investors kind of
Hmm.
thought process compared to a manager's thought process.
Yeah, I think that, and
Like,
I think there's a lot of things that he just wants to do. I mean, obviously, he also has a singing career, which I think that's funny. But the whole music thing. I just don't. I think the owner route does make a lot of sense for him, just because of the fact that, like, I think that there's other things he wants to do, and if you're a manager, you're not necessarily
you
able to
can't do
do
it.
those things, right? Like, he can't. Oh, let me take a break and let me write this song right now. Like, it's just not that's not gonna work. So I think for his lifestyle, the way he is going to be, I think the ownership route is probably going to be the way to go for him. And I think he has now all of the reason to stay put in Sevilla. I think that that's what is
Yeah,
going to be his plan. Is I'm sure he already has a home in Sevilla, but I think, like, for him is just you know get into a nice little life where and I think it's the concern that every athlete has, right? Like, I mean,
like
we've
what's the
seen the
afterlife? What's the afterlife after the sport's over?
yeah, like, we've seen the horror stories, right? Like, where guys just are broke. They don't have money, and they, because they didn't spend their money wisely. They didn't invest in their money. And now we're seeing
Hmm.
more and more athletes these days investing their money. Guys buying ownership stocks of teams, guys investing into the tech world. Kind of like, I think Steph Curry is one of those guys. Like, people are being more smarter with a lot of people are being now in this era of sports are being now just smarter with their finances. And I think this is kind of makes sense for Sergio Ramos. I think I don't know if it's true or not, but Cristiano Ronaldo apparently is in Houston.
Really?
I think some rumor that he might be interested in buying ownership be a part owner of the Houston Texans, which that's gonna
Oh,
be
wow.
hilarious. So yeah, I guess now I have to support Cristiano Ronaldo again, because uh bro, the funniest thing was people just not believing me when I said that, like, I don't care about Cristiano Ronaldo after he left Real Madrid.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. It's
I
true.
and
I can
and
vouch for him. If anything, I cared more after. I went and I was following his career because one, he was
after
at
because he went to
Juventus.
Juventus, yeah, like, I was like,
Yeah,
that's
he
so
was at
easy for
Juventus.
you.
Hold on. Yeah, it was easy for me. He went to Juventus, then he went back to Man U, and
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I'm happy, whatever. Back to maybe he's gonna bring out the stuff that the chutzpah that we need, and it didn't happen. I mean, Ten Hag is just a dick. Anyways, um, but yeah, it was easier for me to stay and seeing him. Mind you, I do follow him on Instagram and everything, and him and Georgina being happy with their kids, Cristiano Jr., all that great stuff. Amazing. But for Hector, when I would be like, oh yeah, look, we're Cristiano, and then the only time that he even knew anything about him was when I think I pointed it out and I sent him the link when Fatal Fury decided to come out with a character of Cristiano Ronaldo in the video game. And he was like, for real? I was like, yeah, this is real.
Like I said,
So,
like the quote I gave to when me and Jose were talking about it, because everyone, like, for it's just like, I think it's this weird assumption that, like, all Madridistas are Ronaldo fanboys, and, like, the what I told exactly as I told to Jose, Ronaldo can fuck all. Like, I can give two shits about Cristiano Ronaldo. Sorry for cousin Kelsey, but I can give a rat's ass about Cristiano Ronaldo, because he's not with Real Madrid. Like, and honestly, everywhere they see me, I have unfollowed
I,
people. I
he
have
has he hasn't he's gotten people unfollowed from him, and he's unfollowed people vice versa.
like,
Either way,
if you're not on my team anymore, I don't care about you. Like,
yeah.
there's a few players that I will say in my lifetime that I have genuinely cared about where they gone afterwards. Andre Johnson is one of those guys.
Oh
JJ
yeah,
Watt is one of those. Those are, like, iconic players, and it's
James Harden,
James. I'm not a Rockets fan. I'm not really a basketball fan, to be honest. But
and you. Never mind. I'm just Alex Bregman.
Breggy,
Hmm.
I love Breggy. Hunter Pence, the one that got away. Always, I still supported him after he left the Astros. Um, Brad Davis, another guy that, like, I still rooted for him after he left the Houston Dynamo. Like, there's a handful of guys that Sergio Ramos.
Yeah,
Sergio Ramos, he's my captain. That I put Ramos above Cristiano Ronaldo any day. So
I think look, I'm gonna put it this way. Any
Edward,
real Madrista will
Edward
actually
could
put
tell
him
you.
up for him.
Edward could tell you. I was contemplating getting that Sevilla jersey.
Yeah, he really was. I'm not even gonna cap. Like he really was. He was legit was like, I think I'm gonna get, and he's like, no, I can't be Sevilla. It has to be a Spain. And then he's like, but damn, it looks so clean. And it's Ramos, and it's the Sevilla jersey. And he's like, oh, it's white. He was even doing this thing where it's
I
white.
was trying
He's
so
like,
hard.
it's white because and Real Madrid's white. So technically, he's like trying to do the pros and cons kind of thing. And I'm over here like, okay. I mean, I told him straight up, you should get it. It's Ramos. You should get it. He was if I would have probably kept egging him on it, he would have gotten it. He would have been like, but it would have been sitting on his thing, it would have been sitting on his in his closet. It would have just been a memento of, hey, this is Sergio Ramos on the team, kind of stuff.
I would have probably framed it. I probably would have done that
Yeah,
because I don't
that's
know
it.
if I would ever
That's it.
want to wear it, but
Yeah, exactly. Like, mind you, if Hector was to go between getting a Monterrey jersey or well, no, not even
no,
Monterrey because you're a Toluca fan.
I got the Monterrey. I don't.
Oh, okay, you got the
I
Monterrey.
don't,
Okay,
yeah, I have the Ramos Monterrey shirt. One,
okay,
I
okay.
really don't have allegiance to a Liga MX team. I do. I've said it plenty of times. I do have a soft spot for Toluca. That's it. But like I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the team. One, I don't follow them enough to actually like consider myself a fan. But which that opens me up for me able to wear other jerseys of Liga MX teams. But like, because I mean, I also have like a Puma shirt that I got from a mystery box. But what else? But yeah, I really don't care about Cristiano Ronaldo. But yes, Sergio Ramos, that is one of those players that like after he left the club, I still Luka Modric is another guy as well. So like I have to have like a real sentimental value to the player. I never really had any like once again, Edward can tell you the player that I got most excited about when they were doing the new Los Galacticos, the 2.0 Galacticos. I was excited about Karim Benzema.
Yeah, he was excited more about Benzema than he was about Ronaldo.
And mind you, Kaká was on that team.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
love
that's the
Kaká.
thing. Well, that's the thing. You were excited for Kaká. He was excited for Kaká. I was pissed off, but at the same time, Hector was also pissed off that they were bringing in Kaká because I think it was like they took him away from AC Milan.
Yeah, I think for
And
me
you
it
were,
was
and at the
weird.
time, at the time, he was like big on AC Milan.
Mhm.
Gattuso was like his dude. So then,
And then that's
yeah,
also another team that I have like a soft spot for, but I would never say I'm a fan of AC Milan. But yeah, so like, but yeah, so Kaká, I just thought it was weird to see him not in that 22 shirt, not wearing the Milan kit. But yeah, I mean, he was great for Real Madrid for when he was healthy. But
yeah. But those injuries just caught up, though.
yeah, it sucked, and I love that he was able to go into Orlando and build his legacy there as well. That was pretty cool. His ex-wife sucks, by the way. But the biggest complaint is that he's too perfect. But fuck you. Sorry for cousin Kelsey. Like that's like Aisha Curry
No.
levels of just suckiness as a human being. So like
So it was the worst of it all was the fact that she said he doesn't what was it? It's like he cares about me, he buys me what I need, he cares for our kids, he loves going to
he
church.
takes great
He's
care
too
of us.
he's too perfect. I was just like, wait, what? I was like, so what the hell? This girl's talking about like she wants a toxic relationship kind of shit. You know, she wants that DM. No, not trying to say anything. She just wants
Bro,
that DA kind of case.
this
She
is
wants that
like
case.
it's like same levels of like Aisha Curry complaining about Steph Curry. Like I don't know if you've seen it. She was on that was a crazy thing that happened this past year. She was on Call Her Daddy because great things always happen in that podcast. And in that she said that she never wanted kids. She never really wanted to get married. Like she didn't realize that Steph was going to be this like great all-time basketball player. So it was just like, and I was like, man, imagine if your kid listens to that podcast
Yeah,
and having to hear like, oh, mom didn't really want me. That context matters. She was saying at the time, obviously,
yeah.
you can't regret having children. I mean, Some people could. I mean, I'm not
Just
gonna.
don't. You're just putting yourself up there more on the higher on the ledge, so you can fall even harder, dog. Just
I
just
mean,
chill.
I know. There's people out there that are just terrible and just say that they regret their children. I'm sure Edward doesn't regret his kids.
Oh no.
But like I know there's some people, but like I mean, in some, I think the joke is always that like the people that say they don't want kids or like I will never have kids are the ones that end up having kids. So
Yeah,
like, so
and not just one, mind you.
oh, they got a whole clan, but
Yeah,
like
they
which
got the whole.
I guess that's where Aisha Curry falls on as well. But like I don't I think obviously people are taking that. I think maybe you need to listen to the whole interview to really get the whole perspective on it. But obviously she's just great to make her husband look bad. Like she talked about his foot fetish. That was kind of weird.
What?
Well,
Wait, hold on, Brett.
this was on a
What?
whole other interview that she was on. She mentioned that like she takes pictures like Steph likes seeing pictures of her feet. Which I was like, hey man, I'm not gonna hate. I mean, I'm not a foot fetish guy, but like if you like it, you like it.
Yeah.
You know, she talked about on another podcast, the podcast that Jada Pinkett has, because you know that's a great person to talk to.
I don't
In
even.
front of Steph's mom, by the way. Um, she was talking about how she knows that there's all these women that will throw themselves at Steph, but she feels terrible that no one throws themselves at her. And I was just like, this is not the conversation to be having in front of your mother-in-law, by the way.
Right, right.
But and then I think she was on what The View or some type. I think either The View or this The Talk, I think it's called, where this dude comes out that's like shirtless, very jacked, very sexy, and she does like the gesture like she has to take off her wedding ring. You know, and it was funny because like one of the people on that talk show like caught that and she immediately like pulled her hand down. She's like, no. The girl's just good. She's just really good at like getting like those gotcha clips. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I don't know. Maybe one day I'll listen to that entire interview just to get her like her actual perspective. I'm sure she doesn't regret having children. I'm sure she's happy with her marriage. But if they get divorced, I totally get it. But,
If they get divorced and she comes out with the same thing that Kaka's ex-wife came out with the whole
he's too perfect.
he's too perfect.
I'm getting
I'm just
that
gonna be
vibe.
like
I'm getting that vibe.
I'm just gonna be like, bro, like then what the fuck, bro? I was like, so
What's
what
the
are
what's the,
so okay, here,
what's that meme? That meme that I like. It's like people like ask like women like what's a turn off of yours, and then like it zooms in and someone goes like on his notes app and it's like scrolling down like all the list of things that guys can't do.
yeah.
And it's just I think that's what I thought instantly. I was like, oh, I guess we can't be like good supporting husbands. It's like
And that's what's crazy, bro. Like, it's like all these other women, they're like, oh, I need a man to take care of me. I need a man who's supportive of me. Like, who if what follows my goals. Like, if I have goals, they want to be okay with them, not trash them or not belittle them or anything like that. But then you got other women who are like, well, I'm my supportive husband, this and that and that. He follows my goals and everything. I feel like I got nothing. And I'm like, wait, what? What the hell just happened here? Like,
it's a
what's going on?
people be crazy, bro. That's all I
Yeah,
gotta say.
this podcast is not brought to you by The View. Just
The View, the Talk, Call Her Daddy, whatever shows
Jesus,
those
man.
the whatever show that gets somebody. Which I will say, I did listen to Call Her Daddy one time, and it was because of the Trinity Rodman interview. I thought that was a really great interview, by the way. I thought it was great that Trinity was able to finally share her truth of like her relation to her father. So I don't want to take jabs at Call Her Daddy. I think that they have a really important podcast, but like it was just Aisha Curry is just one of those people that is becoming more and more an unlikable person. So
Mm.
and I defended her at one point, and it's
I
not.
remember. I think I remember we were having a conversation.
It was
You were defending her.
it was the weird. Not that I defended anything that she said, but like it was the people like Houston Rockets fans, or just Houston sports fans in general, are weirdly petty, which is
Yeah,
fitting. It's fitting because I am a Houston sports fan. But like the Rockets fans, so because if you guys don't know, at one point the Rockets and the Warriors were always like battling it out to make it to the NBA Finals. Obviously, the Rockets never made it to the NBA Finals, and that's because once again, Golden State is just a godly team at that time. Um,
Yeah,
and
especially Steph Curry shooting those threes where he wasn't even looking.
yeah, that and I mean Kevin Durant.
Oh
The
yeah.
list goes on and on about that Golden State team. Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, whatever you want to say. But anyways, the Rockets fans hate anything Golden State Warriors to the point where Aisha Curry, which obviously she started doing her own cooking channel, which obviously her husband helped her with, um, and so she started making like she started having restaurants like across the country. Like I believe she had a restaurant in San Francisco for Golden State. I believe one in her hometown. I don't know where they're from, so don't quote me on that one. And then she opened one in Houston.
Ooh.
She opened one in Houston, and before the restaurant hadn't even been built, Edward. The restaurant wasn't even built, and they already had like 1-star reviews on that restaurant.
Damn.
And it's not because no one tried the food. It isn't because anybody like literally ate the food. That it was out of sheer just hatred of
Out of pettiness.
of the Golden State Warriors. That was
Yeah,
it.
just pettiness.
Yeah. I will say the all-time sign that that one of the Rockets fans made was like, "Hey, Steph, go home and give your wife attention." That was
Damn.
that was an interesting. That was after the red table talk that she did with Jada Pinkett, which was the whole, "I wish men would give me attention." And so,
Damn.
yeah, that was a weird episode. And Jada Pinkett should just not be on TV anymore. That's just my opinion. But
Slowly becoming a fact.
yeah. But anyways, yeah, I don't think there was anything else that we need to talk about with Sergio Ramos, by the way. But,
Yeah, totally went off a topic there.
You can thank Ricardo Kaká's wife for that topic.
Righteous Felon Craft Jerky is the official jerky of Belly Up Sports. For over a decade, Righteous Felon Craft Jerky has led the American meat snack revolution by concocting delicious, adventurous, U.S.-sourced jerky recipes for uncompromising carnivores across the country. With 15 different flavors to choose from, Righteous Felon has all jerky lovers covered, and by using promo code BELLYUP, you will get 15% off your purchase at righteousfelon.com. Do your taste buds a favor today and rip into a bag of Righteous Felon jerky.
But yeah, man, those are all the headlines. Edward, is there anything else you want to say before we move on? Because after this, you guys will be hearing me interview a special guest of this new show that Golz TV is going to be dropping for Liga MX, which you'll see me from time to time on there as well. But we'll be doing not super late. We're going to do a late preview of Liga MX because if you guys don't realize, by the time this episode drops, Liga MX has already started. So, but there is going to be some things to talk about. But Edward, is there anything else you want to add before we move on to that?
Well, I'm just happy to be back. It was fun, like always. Again, the conversation took a U-turn, and we ended up somewhere else in the middle of nowhere with Courage the Cowardly Dog kind of vibe.
That's just the beauty of our idiot jazz.
Yes, exactly what you said. Idiot jazz. Let it play. Can't you play the right notes? No, we can't. It's not part of our jazz.
Groove. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, God.
I don't know if you remember that Simpsons episode.
Groove. That wasn't Duffman, was it?
No, it was when Bart learns that he's like a really good drummer.
Oh yeah.
And so they were gonna do a benefit concert, and like the jazz musicians, they were just like, we should do a benefit concert. All right, out of sight, groove.
Oh yeah, and it was just like all 3 times, whatever the answer was, it was always that.
Yeah, so there's a great idea. Anyways, but yeah, no, Edward, obviously it's great to have you on. Fun fact, you will actually hear Edward in the next episode because we recorded this very much still within our break. So
yep.
this won't be you'll see Edward next week, so for sure. So at least you get double Edward, back to back Edward. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But
first of the year.
Hey, man.
That means all of January, I think. That means all of January.
almost the 29th episode you won't be on.
Oh,
because you'll be on you'll be on this episode, and then next week you'll be on the 29th. You won't be on. So
yeah.
unless you want to double record, come up with some random head.
Right? Be like, did you know that poop comes from food? God, whose line is it? Did you remember that? Whose line is it anyways? Colin Mockery.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, do you know that poop comes from food? And everybody just busted out laughing because I think it was like one of the least. Drew Carey was like one of the least usable catchphrases that you'll ever hear a superhero say or something. And he goes like, "Did you know that poop comes from food?" And then everybody just busted out laughing and then he used it the whole episode. I think he was even in the hoedown and everything.
Oh man, dude. For people to understand like where our dumbness comes from, like
they gotta watch Whose Line Is It Anyway?
Whose Line Is It Anyway? South Park, The Simpsons. You can sprinkle in some Family Guy there. I don't think we were really high on Family Guy, but you can sprinkle in some Family Guy in there.
Rocko's Modern Life.
Angry Beavers.
Oh God, yeah.
Invader Sim.
Invader Sim even worse.
Mad TV. I feel like Mad TV was a big part of our lives because we didn't know SNL was a thing.
Yeah. You know what? Well, Mad TV
for the people that hate on Mad TV, man, you guys didn't really watch.
that was legit the SNL before SNL. Like when you couldn't afford cable, it's like that was the SNL for us.
Yeah, that there you go. Thank you for that defense. But yeah, that's the true inspiration of our idiot jazz, and what really makes this show what it is. It all comes from those many influences of ours. Yeah. So that Spin City.
Spin City, God, that's where all the sarcasm comes from, bro.
I was really big on Seinfeld. Obviously, Friends.
Yeah, but we discovered Friends later. We didn't discover it when we were young. We discovered it later.
Well, because my sister was like actually into Friends like when it was still on, you know. I only watched the finale. Like that's the only thing I really remember was the finale of Friends. And so like, but then when I actually like watched Friends, I was like, oh, this show's actually like really great. Super white. But it's really great. As a matter of fact, Jerry Seinfeld is also very white, but like it's really great entertainment. I actually top those over George Lopez any day. So
it was funny because like I was about to say when you said that it's like super white, I was about to be like Sheldon's mom. Well, that's mighty whitey. In the Big Bang Theory, Sheldon's mom in the Big Bang Theory.
Oh yeah, because Meemaw, they never show Meemaw. That's right.
They did show Meemaw in the Big Bang Theory.
Oh,
she was hefty or like really southern.
I remember, which is funny because Meemaw on Young Sheldon does not.
No, she just looks like a younger version of like Katie Seagal kind of deal. Yeah. And ironically, Katie Seagal played Penny's mom.
That's right. But yeah, yeah. I got into Big Bang a little bit later on, and then The Office. The Office is like
The Office. Oh God, yeah, and that's where we get it.
I finally got Peacock. So.
Oh, you're gonna watch the super fan episodes? Yeah.
Oh, they have them. So now so I got Peacock because you can bundle that with Apple TV. Now I can have Apple TV mainly because now I can watch MLS games regardless. I don't need to pay another $90 to like watch MLS games now. So thank you.
Yeah.
And then I can finally watch the F1 movie because I've been really wanting to watch that movie. And
I heard it's really good. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard it's really good.
So I can't wait for that. But yeah, so that's the inspiration of all our idiot jazz. Maybe one day we'll do like an episode where we have someone interview us on our lives. I guess I don't know. Maybe we'll get Kelsey to do it. And just to like figure out where the hell we came from. I mean, I've been interviewed a lot. Like at this, it's actually been funny recently. I've been interviewed plenty of times. I've been interviewed by obviously Musa from Mo Football. Also, guys, check out Musa from Mo Football TV, man. Especially if you're trying to follow AFCON. AFCON has been very beautiful. So,
very,
very beautiful. You know, fantastic.
Bonk.
Fuck you. Sorry, Clásico. But he's not wrong. Also, props to the guy, the Congo guy. I fucking love that guy.
Oh,
I love the guy from Congo. The dude, you know who I'm talking about. Very strong chair. I fucking love that guy.
oh my lord!
That guy became my new hero versus the white dude that was dancing with all the. I think it was also the Congo, but I learned that guy's from Morocco. That white dude's actually from Morocco, so that was kind of a cool full story moment. But yeah, the tournament's been awesome. The fans have been beautiful. Yeah, it's a great tournament. Make sure, really hot fans. So
he's not lying. So please check it out. Guys are,
they're in the knockout stage, so make sure you guys check that out as well. I got interviewed there. Got interviewed on Belly Up. So yeah, it's been interesting doing all these interviews as of lately. It's been weird being the one answering the questions more so than talking. But yeah. I think we went a lot longer than we thought we were. We were trying to wrap this up. So I'm going to end this now. So there's all the headlines and our New Year's resolutions, and we'll go ahead and in case this episode might be a little bit longer in case there's other headlines that needs to be popped up, and I'll talk about them, sprinkle them in somewhere in this episode. I'll figure it out. That's like a future Hector problem, not my problem. But but yeah, so we'll go ahead and segue into talking Liga MX. It's going to be a week late preview of Liga MX for the Clausura. There's a lot of things to talk about there, especially with some of the things that Liga MX is doing to prepare for the World Cup. So it should be a good conversation. Previewing it's going to feature someone from a new show that Golz TV is featuring, which is it's really going to be cool. We'll talk about that show also a little bit with that person. But get ready for that. Get ready, excited for that. So we'll go ahead and segue right onto that one. Fight and win! All right, guys. Well, by the time this episode drops, it's already been the first matches have already been played. But Liga MX is back, the Clausura. It is going to be a very interesting Clausura season, being that it is going to obviously correlates with the World Cup. And joining me is the new show on Golz TV. We're finally going to have some Liga MX discussions. Obviously, you guys know that I am a personal fan of Liga MX. It's a beautiful league, but there's not much conversations about it, at least in English. And we're going to have it in Spanglish, I guess you could say. The new show in Golz TV, which is featuring previous guests before, Honda. Honda's great to have you back. And we have a new guest, Fade, who's joining in on this show for Golz TV. And Fade, pleasure to be working with you a little more often. I'm not a regular on this show. I'm just going to be someone that comes in from time to time. But I love Liga MX, and I'm glad that this show is finally happening. But Fade or Honda, you guys want to talk about this new show here on Golz TV?
I mean, this new show on Golz TV, right? The Golz TV in general, they needed a new area, a new venue to kind of go into. And Liga MX, there have been shows beforehand, but they seem more analytical, more informal, obviously. Whereas this show, we're just gonna be more laid back, chill, just like the homies at the house. Pop a beer, grill some burgers, do what has got to be done, right? There will be some information that comes out from us, right? As you know, Fade, right? He's our information analyst for the Liga MX.
Yep.
All right, Fade, since you are new, you're a new guest to Insert Name FC, we always ask this question to any new guest. Honda's answered this question as well. What was it that got you into football?
The reason, since I was little, I liked watching it, but I didn't like playing it at all.
That's a new one. I like it.
Yeah, but towards when I got into middle school, because the thing I like playing a lot was basketball. Mm-hmm. I like watching soccer. But now towards middle school, I stopped playing basketball and got into soccer, and that's when I started playing for my middle school, my high school, some league games and all that stuff. But mostly what got me into is my dad put a video of the 2001 Libertadores final. Boca Juniors against Cruz Azul.
Mm-hmm.
Un Cardoso was there, Palencia, all those good players. And I support Cruz Azul so since I was little. And that's what mostly got me into more. And then mostly the Mundiales. The
Wow.
one I remember most is 2010 when Spain won it.
South Africa. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know. Also, obviously, I hear the age gap there for me, but it's all good because obviously my first World Cup was '98, but at least that one I remember.
Yeah,
But that
mine
was
was 2006, but I remember most 2006. Yeah, 2010. That's the one I remember more.
Hector's was the World Cup when I was born. Crazy.
I mean, that's what happens when you're 91, baby. But okay. So Pedro, you say you're a Cruz Azul fan. I know Honda is a piece of shit America fan. So
Hey. Listen, there are some piece of shit fan bases out there. I'll claim that mine is pretty much a piece of shit. The Giants, all of them. I'll tell you that right now, straight up. The fan bases in general. I'm not saying the fans. I'm saying the fan bases. They're all pieces of shit.
I can relate being a Madridista myself, so I mean it's all good. But yeah, so the new show on Golz TV, Banters and Balonazos is what it's called. It's gonna be really fun. I can't wait for when we start seeing some of these episodes, and of course, you guys will see me from time to time as well. But all right, the 2026 Clausura, which should be very much different, right? It's we're going into the World Cup, so this has to be a lot of things have been discussed in Liga MX for quite some time. Obviously, they're talking about finally lifting the promotion relegation. They're finally going to bring that back. At least that's what we're hearing. Look, is Liga MX perfect? I know there's corruption everywhere in all angles. I've seen, we know the. You know what's funny? I love it that it is like that in some sense because it's just like, F it, we're gonna do our own thing. It's almost like the Pablo Escobar of leagues. So I think it's an interesting part at least in that facet. But there's a lot of things that are going to be interesting. I like that I don't know when, I think it's next season that they're going to actually do the promotion relegation or is that going to be applied in for this one?
It's next season.
Next season? Yeah, so that's what I figured. Now this one,
Atlantic goes in next season also.
And that is the big one right there for me is to see a club that I grew up watching in Liga MX. It's weird watching, like, I've saw Veracruz, Chiapas and all that. Like, look, I'm Salvadoran. I'm going to tell you that straight up. I have no relation to Mexico. But that was the only thing I could watch for a good time because I did not have cable. And so I think that Liga MX, that's where the soft spot for me grew from that league. And it's an exciting league. It's a dramatic league, and I'm all for it all the time. Sometimes you just love watching things that are just gritty, and I think that's what you get from Liga MX, and I truly enjoy that part. But like I said, this season's going to be a lot different, being that it is going to be very congested. So the goal is, well, obviously, it's starting January 9th. Like I said, by the time this episode drops, they have already played their first matches. And it's supposed to be done by May 24th. Obviously, World Cup, right? That's the big reason why that they're pushing the league a little bit. I believe there's going to be 3 double weeks. Fade, if you want to correct me on that one, I think there's 3 double weeks in this season to kind of speed things up.
This coming up 3 matches is going to be a triple game week.
This coming up week, already going to have a triple. Yep. All right. So there's going to be a few weeks where we'll have more matches, which, once again, it's the World Cup. But I believe they're going to allow to expand the rosters because of that, is what I'm hearing.
What they're allowing is going to be 9 extranjeros instead of 7.
9 foreign players. Okay. 9
foreign players, yeah.
Now, can you kind of expand on that? Why is it that they're adding an additional 2 foreign players to these Liga MX rosters?
So they're adding it for this season because mostly teams here in Mexico are going to be calling all their best players for the World Cup. So there's going to be less Mexican players inside the league. And so they're grabbing 2 more not formatted in Mexico so they can play for Liguilla.
Mm-hmm.
So there could be more players in Liguilla. So instead of putting 7 in your lineup, you can put 9 not formatted in Mexico. Because most of your players are going to be in the World Cup.
Yeah, because national team players will be leaving their clubs April 30th to start prepping for the World Cup. Honda, how do you feel about that? You know, but basically the whole month of May, which is the playoff period, you're going to be without the big names if you're thinking about it as far as the Mexico aspect. How do you feel you're going to watch a whole season with watching guys like Alexis Vega, guys that you would normally see in the for your team? And now, how does that change maybe for these clubs that have these profound Mexican players that now have to go into the playoffs? Some people would say shorthanded.
Here's the thing about it being shorthanded as well, too. It gives the academies time to actually develop the players. It's not just bringing in the extranjeros. It's getting these academies that have not been used and telling them, hey, we're going to need some of your players. Bring them up. And we start using them. And then we could see more Mexicans, more academy players actually develop further on, at least as far as this season goes, right? If it pans out well, that means that's going to happen more often. And once they take away these two extranjeros, because I don't think it's a permanent thing, right, Fade? If I'm not mistaken, it's just temporary for this.
It's just for this season. Next season it goes back to 7.
As soon as they take them out, if they see that these academy players are doing very well, they're going to continue with those academies.
And I think anybody could say good things as long as the academies are being utilized. I mean, you know, this past summer we were all in awe about Gilberto Mora. I mean, can we see more of these guys? And you know, this is coming from someone that has no reason to be supporting Mexico, but I think it's important to see the future of this league, just as countries in general grow.
And that's the thing as well, too. It's not just Mexican players coming out of these academies. These players from Guatemala, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Honduras, they're going to benefit from it as well, too, because a lot of people are emigrating from Central America to Mexico, right? Legally or illegally, it doesn't matter what, bro. Footy is footy at the end of the day.
No, that's absolutely true. Also, big thing that is coming into this as well with the accelerated and also that roster change, no play-in. No playing. We're not going to see that me having to explain that if the ninth place team beats the 10th place team, now they got to play the loser of the 8th versus 7th place team. It just makes me feel confused. But it is just going to be 8 teams in the playoffs, which honestly, that's less than half the league, which I think is already a positive. Fade. I already know how Honda feels about the playing round. We talked about it, even though his team is one of the few teams that actually won Liga MX being that play-in team. But what's your, first of all, your overall thoughts of the play-in now that you've seen it now 3 times at this point, and your thoughts on now it being at least ended for now? I don't know if this is like a permanent decision or this is a temp one. Oh, okay, permanent. All right, what are your thoughts on this?
The play-ins were useless overall. Literally almost every team that was top 8 would just go through quarterfinals easily. 9 and 10 would just get eliminated in play-ins. I feel it's just useless at all. Like, just completely useless. Just because of the money you guys wanted, it's just completely useless. Because mostly the top 6 go in Liguilla, and they have to wait for 2 goddamn weeks. They're losing your rhythm. And that's affecting that teams, and the people in play-in are having more advantage because they're playing more.
Very good point. And so, obviously, you're happy that's removed.
Yeah, finally.
That is for sure. Now, if you guys obviously, if you guys watching the video version, the tables to our side of all the teams that are participating this season. First question I gotta ask, because this team always finds a way to bite me in the ass whenever I don't predict them, do predict them. It always seems to be a pain in my ass. Should we be worried about Club America this season?
The one we should be worrying about.
Oh, go ahead.
The one we should be worrying about is Toluca. That's the one we have to be worrying about. They're bicampeón right now. And the transfer that you just have done right now are even crazier. So they have to watch out with them instead of America.
Yeah,
And
they just moved on from Ache. They just brought in Cordova. Is there anything else that we should be looking into from over there? A team that just, I guess you could say, got stronger from winning back to back.
Everything, even their finances, bro. Like they're actually working on them because at one point they were in debt. I forgot how much, and then right now, with all the academy that they sold off, with all the players that they've been able to bring in and then just sell for more, right? I think their debt is clear now, right? If I'm not
nah,
mistaken.
yeah, they cleared it off last year when they sold big cherry names. Same thing happened with Cruz Azul. The day after Billy Alvarez and then with Alonso coming in, look all these transfers we've been getting.
So definitely the team to be worried about is if Toluca is going for that 3-peat.
It's Toluca. It's Toluca, 100%.
Yeah. Now, obviously, there's going to be a ton of things to be following throughout this season, but if you guys could narrow it down to one, we'll start with Fade here. What's that storyline that you're going to be following throughout this Liga MX season?
One, I want to watch how Pumas, because last season they did horrible, but what these signings they've been doing, they have good signings. I want to see how they do. And Chivas also. Pachuca, you got to watch out with Pachuca. They've been doing good signings right now. They got Rondon back. They're going to have Rondon and Valencia on top.
Oh, wow.
And then they just signed Alomoso. They have Poncho, and they're going to sign Eric Gutierrez also.
All right, so that is a team to keep an eye on. Honda, for you, what's that story to follow for you going into this season?
Mine is more of like kind of like in the negatives. I want to follow that Puebla story because if they do end up selling to Morelia, Monarcas Morelia is back, and I loved when they were in the Primera División. They're pretty much my dad's team, right? We would watch them pretty much all the time. And dude, it doesn't matter what. If they were doing good, if they were doing bad, they just had entertaining games after entertaining games. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I miss the kids. I think when it comes to Monarcas, I don't know why. It was just it was very simple, but I loved them. They had a really cool badge, and another team that I grew up watching back in the early days, I guess.
Every time I see those kids, right, I was like, holy shit. I'm kind of scared as an America fan because they would go, it was either our house or their house. I'd be like, dude, these guys are super quick because Joao Rojas, Fade, you know about him, right?
Ooh.
How dangerous he was at Morelia, bro.
Fidel Martinez.
Yeah, Fidel Martinez too, bro. Damn.
Alustiza.
Yup.
I think for me to follow through is just going to be, once again, it's just a preparation for the World Cup. Mexico, obviously one of the hosts for this World Cup. You know, they're going to make sure to put their best foot forward in this one. I think, I just want to say this. This has nothing to do with Liga MX. We just need to stop with the multiple country World Cup hosting things. Like
Just stay on one.
Let's just
it's gonna continue.
Look, North America's cool. I'll take that one. Like next year, I think what was it? Morocco, Spain, and Portugal, and then for some weird reason they're going to Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay for like the first matches. Like we don't need that. I don't need to see that for whatever that upcoming World Cup, and then which. Because of all these nations already being represented, all these confederations being represented, that opened up Saudi Arabia to just be their own host, which, I mean, it was going to happen eventually. But we need to go back to just having single countries hosting a World Cup. That was just bananas for me. But I think I think for Mexico's sake, what this World Cup could do for them is, you know, put their best foot forward, and then maybe in the future years have them, you know, Mexico be the primarily host of the World Cup, which I would love to see it happen again.
You know, I missed another team that we have to watch out too for Liga MX. Necaxa.
Oh yeah, they are making some good signings as well too. And
I've been watching that series, so
they just signed Faravelli.
It's a cold series though.
Yeah. They just signed Lorenzo Faravelli from Cruz Azul.
Oh, they did. Damn.
Yeah, they signed them.
That's a good signing. That's a really good signing for them.
So
Rivero just signed Bocholos.
He went back to his roots pretty much.
So
and Bogus is about to sign also, but to Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, I'm still conflicted on that part. Great, another 10 that's gonna be put on the wing. That's all I see from from Benny Olsen.
Maybe CDM this time. Maybe CDM this time. Who knows?
Yeah, you know,
Right
you know
back.
what? You know, wing back. Let's put him at wing back. Let's see what the guy
Let's
can
put him
do.
like keep, bro. Let's make him a keeper.
Why not?
Oh,
Why?
you know who also Necaxa wants to sign Honda?
Who?
Amari Morales, our youngster that scored a golazo against you guys.
Oh, you know what? He might go on loan. I feel
Yeah,
like he would
they
go
want him
loan.
on they want him, but Azul said the only way he can leave is on a loan.
Yep.
But they start debating because they just sold Rivero and they need a player on the right.
Yeah, that's your boy. I don't think you guys are gonna let him go unless it's
But
like.
yeah, because he wants to leave for minutes, but it's because Larcamon, our manager, we erased him like completely last season.
Mhm.
And now that he's getting the players he wants, we have Borja and now Palavecino.
Yeah,
That
that's
the midfield's gonna be stacked for Liga. Midfield's gonna be good for Liga because Charlie and Lira are both leaving to the World Cup.
you guys basically made a trade with Necaxa. Freaking what was it? Faravelli for Palavecino, bro. That's pretty much
No,
what you did. I know it's
uh,
separate negotiations, but that's pretty
Faravelli
much.
left on a free.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he left
Oh,
on a free.
I thought you guys got money for him.
Nah, he left on a free.
Damn.
We got money for Rivero though. We got $1 million.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
So obviously, Fade, you said Pumas is like your team, maybe on the rise. The team on the rise. Would you say that, or who's your team?
No, Necaxa.
Necaxa?
On the right.
All right. Hey, if I can see Ivan Longoria in the playoffs, I think that's fine. All right, so I'm good with that. For you, Honda, who is that team for you to watch that's on the cusp of doing right things?
If they maintain and continue the uprise of what they did last season, Juarez. And like, here's the thing, right? They did make it to Liga, if I'm not mistaken, right? I mean, last season I didn't really watch too much Liga MX because I was more focused on MLS, Wake Up MLS, all that. But Juarez, if they can continue to form their base that they have, they're going to be a serious threat in the Liga as a dark horse that they could potentially make it to even the final.
I think I think for a while was like Juarez is like Denny was just to get like everybody else's like favorite player at one point and just have them play there because I think didn't they just sign Chicharito?
Yeah, they did. Well, I mean,
Juarez?
they did the memes. I think it was a
meme.
meme.
It was a meme? Okay. Wow.
No, yeah.
Old man fell for AI again. All right, so you got Juarez as your team to rise, potential dark horse, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Dark horse.
All right, well, someone's gonna have to dip, right? If there's teams that are getting better, there's a team not doing the right things. For you, Honda, what's that team for you that's like they're gonna dip, they're gonna be on the decline?
I'm gonna say Monterrey, surprisingly, because each time they say, "Oh, we got this team, we got this team, we got this team," oh, they're gonna go for it this time. I just don't see where they're gonna go up. I feel like they've reached that pillar, that peak. And since there's so many teams that are making themselves better, Cruz Azul, Toluca, America a little bit, right? You got Tigres who have like cleared the house, kind of, but they're bringing in other players as well too. And then more from the bottom as well too, Pachuca, Chivas, right? I don't see where Monterrey has like the cap room to actually build up from here.
Okay. Fade?
I feel it would be Tigres.
Oh, so we're just picking on Monterrey, the whole city of Monterrey. All right, I'm
I
falling
feel
for
like
it.
Tigres is gonna be a downfall because they haven't signed no one at all.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? Fuck the Regiomontanos. You hear this? Hold that disrespectfully.
Hey, I mean, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse, right? And I mean, when everybody else is getting better.
Tigres just lost Tapia, their young keeper. He went to America.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And Tapia, I feel like he's going to be starting because Malagon is going to be leaving to the World Cup.
100%. And Tapia is going to actually develop as well too, better. That's what I like to see, bro. Should have never said them in the first place anyways, but we had too many keepers.
All right, Honda, you kind of mentioned Juarez as your dark horse. I don't know if you want to stick with them, but Fade, I'll go to you. For you, who is that dark horse team for this Clausura?
Pachuca.
Pachuca. They did a lot of good things. So you're sold that they're going to cause some problems in Liga MX this season.
Yeah. Well, Rondon and Valencia, of course.
Yeah.
If they get it on, bro. But like Valencia's old. Ask the Ecuadorian fans out
Hey,
there. Bro, they hate him.
he's old, but he has that fucking shot though.
Hey, he still has it. I watched him play against the US.
He has it. He has it. Don't get me wrong, but like, there's a lot of times where Valencia's
the one striker I want to see that I'm excited, and not to glaze my team, but Borja. I want to see how he does.
I kind of see how he develops because, I mean, you remember the last time you guys signed the Colombian striker, right? That was supposed to be the shit. Teófilo Gutierrez.
He was the shit, but he just fucking missed that fucking sitter against you guys in the fucking final.
Oh man. That you guys should have sentenced us that final though.
So Honda, you're sticking with Juarez?
Yeah, I'm sticking with Juarez as the dark horse as well too.
All right. I feel like I already have an idea who's the heavy favorite here. But who's the heavy favorite right now for Liga MX for this Clausura?
Toluca.
Okay. Heavy favorite, 3-peat, maybe? Or do you feel like it's definite?
Maybe.
It's a maybe. You know what? I
feel like there's two teams that can beat them. Because those two teams didn't lose to them to Toluca last season. Cruz Azul, they didn't lose at all. And then it was Chivas. Chivas didn't lose, right?
I don't know. I'm not 100% certain, but I think that they didn't. I think they went to their home and they tied, if I'm not mistaken.
All right. Is there any other team that you could think of as like another heavy favorite for you besides Toluca, I guess?
I'll say my own team. Cruz Azul.
Besides Toluca, yeah. No, like, I gotta agree with Fade. Because Cruz Azul has been developing over time, and it's about time, again, that they win a Liga MX.
It's 3 times fucking get in the semifinals. Like, what the fuck?
You know, it's funny, when I look back at the playoffs, because like last year, the semifinals, I was like, all 4 of these teams I would be happy to see lift the trophy. And both those matchups ended with that unfortunate aggregate rule.
Yeah, those 2 games were so fucking horrible.
Fade, tell me there's some discussions to maybe fix that rule.
I don't feel they're fixing it. They just removed it like 5 seasons ago because of the complaint of America board, Baños, because they got eliminated against Pachuca because of the away goals. And they complained and they removed that. So now they had to stick just with the position of the table. And that's been going on like that after the complaint.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. But all right, guys, we got the heavy favorites in. Who is that player that you're looking to keep a close eye on this? I'm gonna be honest with you. Gilberto Mora is who I'm watching. I think I want to see continue on his development. I hope we're gonna see him in the World Cup. Once again, I have no reason to be supporting Mexico, but the kid, I've been really sold on him since watching him in the Gold Cup and even watching him when he was playing with Tijuana before he got his shine. But like the kid just looks great, and I kind of want to hope that he continues to progress in his development. But for you guys, who is that? We'll start with Honda. Who's that player to watch for this season?
Gilberto Mora is the obvious one, but if I'm not gonna choose him, right? If the rumors are true with how they say it's gonna be, I want to see Alvaro Fidalgo after he converts himself to a Mexican and see how he but how he aligns himself with the Selección Mexicana, with America, with the Mexicans in general. I want to see how that goes. If it's good, then okay. But if not, then why are we making more extranjeros into Mexicans just to bring them to the Selección to do nothing?
Mm-hmm. All right, we got Fidalgo, we got Mora. Who do you got, Fade? Who are you going to keep an eye on?
It's not a Mexican player, but Joseph Martinez with Cholos.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say how he fucking. Yeah, that's a good signing from Cholos.
I mean, his knees. Let's see how those develop.
Or if Martinez or not, from Necaxa, Carniza, the striker.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
See, like I didn't have to mention Necaxa at all this whole time. I just want to give credit to myself because everyone was making fun of me for it. But all right, so that's really like our preview for Liga MX. Now, I will say this is actually one of the few times where I do have somebody here that is a supporter of El Tri, because I mean, me and Edward are Salvadoran Americans, so we live in depression. So obviously, I need to know, where as a fan are you right now with this team? I know it's not been the most, I wouldn't say the most confident experience as of lately. You know, it's been overwhelming. Still found success in some ways. Obviously, you know, winning the Gold Cup, winning the Nations League, take that for what you want. I know that's not necessarily what you want to talk about, but do you see something building here with this Mexico team, or do you feel like it's still the same thing? You're just putting a lipstick on a pig.
Same thing, just putting a lipstick. Like, there's nothing that has changed. We're losing literally against teams we haven't lost in years. Like, literally, we're just sticking the same thing. We're not. They're just the sponsors are just putting players in that don't deserve to be in the World Cup at all.
The players do not care to play friendlies. That's the issue. Back then in 06, if you didn't play a friendly, you're out of the freaking squad. It doesn't matter what. You could be Rafa Marquez, which at that time, yes, he was the best Mexican, pretty much almost of all time. Best Mexican player, defensive, right, of all time. If he said no to the selección, you're not coming back to the selección. Bye. Ciao. We don't need you. Now, players are like, oh, just don't boo us when we're here because then we can't freaking play better. We're booing you because you guys are playing like shit. You got to think about it. You got to know the reason why we're booing you. We don't boo you to boo you. When you guys are on your high horse beating countries like Honduras, Curacao, 5-0, like, yeah, we're going to cheer you because you're actually playing good, right? Like, I don't understand the mentality of the Mexican player right now, which is why I like Gilberto Mora. If more players can come up like him, hit the books, practice, show up to practice, right, on time or even beforehand. Do what you need to do as a football player because at the end of the day, you're playing the sport you love. Others who have not made it in wish they could be there, wish they could play for the selección. I'm one of those.
Mm-hmm. No, I totally get that, man. I've said it, like, watching Mexico can be, it feels frustrating. I'm glad I'm not I won't have anything like y'all, the stress that y'all have to go through. Actually, I'm a U.S. men's national team fan. I go through stress all the time, but I understand with the pride with Mexico. Obviously, the World Cup is gonna be, your matches are gonna all be played in Mexico in the World Cup. You know, you want that home field advantage, but I don't know how much you really want that home field advantage now the way these friendlies have gone. But especially the way the fans are, which that was one thing I said when going into those friendlies. I was like these aren't the fans that you have in America. Like, these guys will tell you if they're not happy, and they definitely did it. So I think that, like, it's gonna be a reality check for a lot of these guys. I hope that playing in your home soil is gonna be significant enough to push them in. I mean, Mexico in World Cups historically, I'm not gonna say because recently wasn't the best World Cup for them, but historically, obviously, Mexico has always done really amazing performances. You know the meme of Ochoa, that he always shows up in the World Cup, all those things, and so you want to see them. You want to see them. Hopefully, maybe this is the year where they can finally overcome that fifth game, right? That's what all the Mexican fans I always hear talk about. Like, this is the year we're gonna finally pass the fifth game. But
the fifth game is the round of 16 this time. Now we're looking for that sixth game.
It's not the quarterfinal.
Yeah, it's not the quarterfinal no more, bro. It's the round of 16. If we get past the round of 16, I'll be, I don't know, happy somewhat.
For you guys, and I will wrap it up with this. what is the expectation for Mexico? In all honesty, or not? Don't be honest.
Hey, get out the group at least. Like, I get it. Okay, South Africa, they're not going to make it easy for you. Korea, they're not going to make it easy for you, right? And then we're most likely going to be facing Denmark, a very difficult team that we struggle against historically. They're not going to make it easy for us. If anything, I wouldn't be surprised if they get grouped. Saying as a Mexico fan right now, I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, you Fade. Are you more like football Sada, or are you gonna be more like a Honda over here?
More like Honda. I feel like we're gonna get grouped. Simple, like last World Cup, we're just gonna get grouped again. South Africa, just because they're from South Africa, it just sounds like small. Just don't underestimate. We underestimated in what World Cup of 2014 was it, or no, South Africa?
2010.
We underestimated. Look what they fucking did to us. And then South Korea, yeah, we played them already, but their players have been developing a lot, and Denmark is just way stronger. So I feel like we're gonna get grouped. I feel like we're gonna get last place.
It doesn't matter who comes out of that Europe, right? Denmark, Republic of Ireland, freaking who else? Czech Republic or Macedonia? Even Macedonia, they're just gonna be there for vibes if they make it out. You think they're gonna be scared of Mexico right now? Hell no. They're like, yes, we made it to a fucking World Cup. Let's go. Bring Pandev back from retirement, bro.
Like literally, I feel like we're just gonna get last. We're gonna get grouped.
I don't know about last, and I don't know if it's a for sure grouping, but if we don't focus up, we definitely will be grouped.
Yeah, I was like, the pressure's gonna be there. I think you're gonna have the Mexican crowd in there. As far as I know, their tickets are at least more affordable than the U.S. That's for sure. So I think that there's gonna be a lot of pressure for Mexico. And I think that one of the things I will say, I think when the pressure gets there, I do feel like normally these players do live up to those moments. Obviously, I'm talking about the Mexico of old, not this current Mexico team, which like I don't know what it is. Maybe they forgot about the traditions of the Mexican national team of El Tri, because I don't even like calling them El Tri. I don't know if that sounds weird, but it just doesn't give me that vibe of El Tri, of the.
They don't. Like literally, the only way we can get past group stage is sponsors don't get in and just put random ass players. The only way that we can go through is if we actually choose the players that deserve and had tried their best. Because Ochoa, he doesn't. If he goes to the World Cup, he doesn't deserve it. Malagon has had an awful season, and Honda can agree.
He does not deserve to be in that World Cup roster. There's 3 goalkeepers, and even the goalkeeper that we're bringing in from Tigres, that guy, he deserves it more. To be in the World Cup. And
Manuel Ochoa, the one from the Young World Cup,
he could actually start as well too. If
Acevedo.
I like Talar Angel because he did show up for Chivas, and this is an America fan right now, bro. If Malagon were to have played like a few seasons back, okay, fine, because he was saving shots that he shouldn't even be saving. But right now, bro, he's letting in freaking low dribbles that are you're easily able to stop them, even with your foot. You're just letting them fucking bypass him. Like, it's annoying.
Definitely get that. But that is Liga MX, man. Obviously, and some Mexico talk right there, guys. Honda, Fate, it's great to have you on. I can't wait to see how the show goes. But this is your time, guys. I'm gonna let Honda go first. If you want to promote anything that's going on with your stuff, or if you want to talk about Banters and Balonazos, you can go ahead as well. So this is your time, man.
Hey, listen, Banters and Balonazos, Golz TV, whether it's on YouTube or the actual site, we're going to be bringing it in for all of Liga MX. Hopefully the show sticks, kind of like Wake Up MLS. However, again, like I said in the beginning, more relaxed, more chill back. We're just talking about different topics in the Liga MX. We're going to be doing different games on the show as well, too. So stay tuned with that, right? I mean, as far as my content goes, again, Golz TV for all the sports analysts and stuff like that. Mainly footy, right? But yeah.
Mr. Fade.
Same thing to Honda. Don't miss out on Golz TV. Mostly don't miss out the information. Technically, I'm gonna have a separate a minute for myself. We're gonna have the 16 seconds like Chronometro, the fast analysts, and then Honda named it my Fader information signings and all that stuff.
Con el Fader.
I'm gonna have all my rumor signings, all that stuff, and for personal, mostly I just do sell sports soccer cards mostly on eBay and IG.
All right, man, guys. Make sure you guys check them out. Keep on the lookout for Golz TV when they have their first episode. And then obviously keep track. I'll be on there from time to time, so it'll be definitely great discussions. But appreciate it, guys. And I don't really know the structure of this episode yet, so whatever comes on next, comes on next. All right, guys. Players of the Week is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is an amazing ticketing app, website, however you use it. It is a very simple process. Me and Edward use it for a lot of our live events that we attend to, from concerts to sporting events. SeatGeek has you covered. We love the simplicity of it. It's really easy. It goes by a grading scale using numbers and colors. So if it is very red and has like a really low score out of 10, that means those seats for that event, it's a rip-off. Keep looking. You're going to find a better deal. If it is like high up there on that 10-point scale and really green, that means for those seats for that event, for that price, you're getting a great deal. Go ahead, enjoy your event. Buy these tickets now. And me and Edward love the simplicity of SeatGeek. Like I said, we use it very often. But if you're not sold just yet, for first-time users, if you guys use that code BELLYUPSPORTS at checkout, you'll save $20 off your first purchase. This is for first-time users only. So if you guys aren't sold just yet on SeatGeek, well, there's that. $20 can go a long way, especially what event you're going to. So SeatGeek Live's an event. We have the tickets. My player of the week is Michael Olise, who scored 2 goals and assists in Bayern Munich's 8-1 shellacking of Wolfsburg. Bayern Munich is very much still in their form, so very interesting. Strong performance from them, just as expected, I guess. And Edward's player of the week is Rafinha, who scored 2 goals in Barcelona's 3-2 win against Real Madrid in the Spanish Super Cup. He's going to rate this. No, he doesn't really rate the Spanish Super Cup. But, I mean, look, 2 goals against your rival, which, by the way, Rafinha, Edward said his things about Rafinha. I said some things about Rafinha. Like I said, this team thrives through him. I believe. And so, yeah, there you go. So congratulations to Michael Olise and Rafinha for being our players of the week. Once again, guys, for first-time users, use that code BELLYUPSPORTS and save $20 off your first purchase at SeatGeek. SeatGeek Life's an event. We have the tickets. All right, guys, we do have some matches this weekend. We have the final of the African Cup of Nations. If you guys haven't been watching it, you have missed out on some amazing, amazing football. The fans are incredible. I know, bonk me again if you want to. But the atmosphere is just a whole different level. I think Morocco has done a tremendous job hosting this tournament. And we'll see how they do in the World Cup, man. I think that's going to be the big thing, that these guys are coming, especially the World Cup nations, like getting the opportunity to have like a tournament type atmosphere here going into the final months in preparation of the World Cup. I think is going to be really important for them, really to gauge where their teams are at and what needs to be improved on. So AFCON, everything amazing. It has been amazing to watch, and yes, bonk me if you want to, but the fans are also very beautiful over there in AFCON. Also, what's going on? Necaxa versus Atlas. You heard the guys over at Banters and Balonazos that Necaxa is going to be a really interesting team to watch this season for the Clausura. We'll see what happens there. Does Eva Longoria and the boys over there in Necaxa have enough to prove the guys at Banters and Balonazos right? Also, Tigres taking on Toluca. Toluca had a big win against Monterrey. Can they do it again? And the other team in Monterrey, also a rematch of the final of the Apertura. How do they respond? We'll see what happens there. We have an interesting friendly. We got Canada taking on Guatemala. It's going to be in Los Angeles, so really interesting matchup there. We'll see how that all goes. Also, another interesting friendly, Bolivia. Obviously, in March, it has a really important matchup to go to get a shot at the World Cup, taking on a World Cup nation in Panama. So that's another friendly as well. I guess Canada and Bolivia are going to go into their own Camp Cupcakes. Maybe some players will be featured, maybe not. I really don't have much information on it. I'm assuming not, but still, we'll see what happens there. In Ligue 1, we got PSG taking on Lille, and Lyon taking on Brest. In the Bundesliga, we got Hoffenheim versus Bayer Leverkusen, and RB Leipzig taking on Bayern Munich. So some good matches over there in the Bundesliga. In the Serie A, we got Udinese taking on Inter Milan, and Torino taking on Roma. So some good matches there in the Serie A. In La Liga, we got Real Betis taking on Villarreal, and Celta Vigo taking on Rayo Vallecano. See, didn't mention Real Madrid, didn't mention Barcelona, didn't mention Atletico Madrid. It is possible. In the Premier League, we got the first matchup for the second half of the Jersey bet between me, Edward, and Spencer. It is the Manchester Derby, Manchester United taking on Man City. Edward versus Spencer. We'll see how that match goes. Can Edward start getting some points? Because he is at the bottom right now of the Jersey bet. And Aston Villa taking on Everton. Now, of course, these aren't all the matches that are being played this weekend, but if you guys need a beginner's guide, I think we gave you guys some good matches to go ahead and check out. But with all that being, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day as long as you're watching the footy. So, with all that being said, we're going to take one last break and then go right into concluding this episode.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan from No Credentials Required to talk to you about one of our newest partners at Belly Up Sports, SeatGeek. Yeah, live sports is great on television, but the feeling of being at the arena is a priceless experience. That's why our friends at SeatGeek are there to help you find the best tickets at the best prices. Not only can you get tickets to sporting events, we can also get tickets to concerts, comedy shows, musicals, and more. Search for your desired event now at SeatGeek.com, enter promo code BellyUpSports at checkout, and you save $20 off your first purchase. SeatGeek. Life's an event. We have the tickets.
All right, guys, I want to thank you so much for listening to this episode. Obviously, probably didn't expect the introduction to be the way it was, but hey, that's what happens when your team lets you down. But, obviously, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you guys check out Belly Up Sports. Follow their website, bellyupsports.com, and follow them on X and Instagram at Belly Up Sports. And also, subscribe to them on YouTube at Belly Up Sports, and you'll see the video version of this podcast. And I completely forgot. I was so pissed off at Real Madrid. Completely forgot to even talk about our social media, which I'll do at the end. But yeah, that's how you see the video version of this episode over there at Belly Up Sports' YouTube channel. Also, Golz TV, man, golz.tv. Follow them on X, Golz_TV, golz_TV, and on Instagram at Golz.tv, golz.tv, so you can be on the know what's going on over there at Golz. Subscribe to their YouTube channel. That is the way you're going to see all their content. That's how you're going to see Banters and Balonazos. That's how you're going to see Wake Up MLS. That's how you're going to see Unleashed with Eric Winalda. Lots of great stuff coming over there at Golz TV, man. Make sure you guys check it out. Because if you guys want to watch football being grown here in the United States, they're definitely going to be helping out in that process. Shout out to Roosevelt Spencer. Follow him on Instagram at That Guy Dope. Roosevelt Spencer, he is one of the most important pieces to this podcast, man. He creates the beats, so you guys hear the intros and outros for this, especially on the audio version. It is made by none other than Roosevelt Spencer. So if you guys like the beat work, well, hit him up on Instagram at That Guy Dope. Shoot him a message and tell him that, hey, the guys from Mr. Name FC sent us to you. Please help us out. We need some beats. Whether you're a podcaster, you're a YouTuber, or you're a musical artist yourself. So take care of Roosevelt Spencer. Will take great care of you like he always does with us. Also, make sure you guys follow us on Instagram, X, and Facebook at Insert Name FC. Also, check out our YouTube channel at Insert Name FC as well. where we actually cut this entire episode into shorter videos, so it's easier to be digest. And obviously follow us wherever you have your podcasting at, so you can see the audio, so you can hear the audio version if that's more convenient to you. With all that being said, man, thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week. Edward will be in that coming episode as well. Obviously, we recorded the Sunday before the headlines of New Year's resolution. So yeah, you'll have Edward next episode. So back-to-back Edward weeks, I guess you could say. But thank you so much for listening. Catch us next week. Take care, guys.